What difference a win makes? How's the atmosphere been down around the place and the mood at Skilled Stadium?
It just makes all the difference. It's been a very positive week all of a sudden. You know, when you go into games like this, knowing that, you know, you've got at least a pretty good start.
It's amazing also now the pundits give you a real chance of knocking off a quality side like Adelaide. I suppose the key, shut down the midfield, Rashudo, McLeod. How are you going to do that?
Well, it's McLeod, Rashudo. I think Rashudo will probably start forward. And
like he did last year and killed you.
Yeah, well, he actually got early goals and at the start and the finish. McLeod's certainly a worry, and you know, we've just got to have to do a team effort on him. And Goodwin's the other guy that's a dangerous player as well.
Gary Ablett getting a lot of attention, media focus at the moment. Can he go up another level today?
I don't think he can go up another level, but it'd be nice to get the same.
Good on you, Mark. All the best today.
Okay.
Thanks to Mitho and the Geelong coach, Bomber Thompson. Well, let's welcome a bloke who, well, he's having a day off. He's just going to be commentating today, Eddie Maguire.
G'day, Derm. Lovely to be down here at Geelong at Skilled Stadium. Great to see AFL Chief Executive Wayne Jackson in the Geelong rooms, along with Commissioner Colin Carter, a former committee member of the Geelong Football Club, and Frank Costa down there before the game. So Wayne is spreading his goodwill right throughout the length and breadth of the country.
And welcome to him, and also welcome to a man who made a few headlines of his own last year, Norm Mundy. He's been at it again already. See if this reminds you of what happened last year with Gary Ayres. There you go.
He's getting warmed up there, Derm, and
let's go back down to Anthony Miffin.
Thanks, Derm, and I spoke to Norm Mundy earlier in the day, and he spoke about the fingers. Local radio station K-Rock wanted to promote with 7,000 fingers, and he signed them. He was good enough to sign one of them. They were banned from the ground. Gary Ayres, you see his moniker on one finger. He signed the other one, and that will be auctioned off for charity, which is a lovely touch.
Bounce to start. We're underway, and Geelong a surprise already. Chambers starting in the ruck. Ling got them out of the middle, but Edwards takes it from half-back for Adelaide. High towards Perry. 1-2, not the third. Goodwin to Tawney. Inside 50. In attack, the ex-Tiger for the perfect start. Drives it through.
25 seconds, Dermot.
Superb pickup from Richmond. A lot of people were saying, oh, look, they gave up a fair bit, and there was toing and froing and swings and deals going everywhere with Kane Johnson going back to Richmond. But this bloke has not put a foot wrong in Adelaide colours this season. He's been superb. He's averaging over 20 possessions a game. He finds himself in space a fair bit, and when required to, he does the job as well.
So the Adelaide Crows get the absolute perfect start. Ball hasn't even hit the ground yet, I don't think, as Tawney kicks the goal. 25 seconds of play. Up they go. Chambers, as Dwayne said, in the ruck for the first time, for the first couple of bounces. Now they try to break clear. Swinging out of the pack was Spriggs, almost.
That's a sign,
Big Clark dragged him to the ground.
That's a sign there, how as he comes to the outside of the pack, he's beset upon by two Adelaide tacklers.
So here they go, the Cats. They were laid onto the ground, and it showed. Have a look at this bloke. McLeod from 55 goes long to the pocket. Could have actually steadied up and had a go at the goals there. That would have been nice and interesting from the word go. But, well, the Cats, they better wake up.
Stepped around Corey Enright a little bit easy there, Andy McLeod. Having said that, he's very good at stepping around 99% of the league's players.
Cats have had one possession so far.
A lot of space out the back here.
Clark and Chambers again. Ball knocked down to Ling. Gets the possession from the back pocket towards the wing. Just over the head of Doughty. Coming hard. Gardner caught. Not in possession. Umpire says Charlie Gardner's free kick from the wing. Following in the footsteps of Sam Newman and Prince Charles. Geelong grammar boy kicks toward half forward. Off the hands of Ben Graham. Ablett Jr. can't quite pounce. Doughty. Bickley. Threads it through to Riccardi. Gets a chance. King, can he get it from the pocket? Around the body, Bassett, last line of defence, takes the mark for the Crows.
Be careful bagging Geelong grammar boys as well. Kerry Packer, one of the old boys there, and
Devlin Brereton, who turned 4 today, the little boy.
He's doing year 12, isn't he, there?
No, he's in the campus, mate. He's doing kinder.
You might follow in the footsteps of Charlie Gardner, who did captain their first 18.
So he gets that far before he gets booted out of there, Dwayne, of course. But anyway, the ball's kicked out. There was a point in the end there for the Cats. So they're on the scoreboard as Adelaide lead by 5 points. It comes out to Perry, close to the boundary line. And over it goes and out of bounds. Taken on the boundary line there by Darren Milburn. For the hard men of the Cats lineup.
Adelaide bench there. Burn, Smart, Bode and Gallagher. Bode and Smarty on screen.
So,
Looks like having a picnic.
King goes into the ruck now as the ball is picked up though and slammed onto the boot by Rashudo. The Crows captain, great in those stoppage plays. Harley to the boundary line, throw in. So a subdued crowd here at Skilled Stadium at the moment. As you'd imagine, the wind taken out of the proverbial sails there with a goal within 25 seconds. But the Cats are settled down.
Rain has kept a few away. Some empty seats here. Free kick in the ruck, and it will go to Chambers. Back pocket against Clark. Trying to ascertain exactly why. Well, that's why. A little too high. They work it from defence. Milburn to Harley. Caught. Turns it over. Rashudo's got it too far out to score. Big chance for the Crows here. Mark Rashudo just outside 50. Goes with a high bomb towards full forward. Goodwin flies from 5 deep. John Cock, can he get away with it? No. Harley steals it, goes to the boundary and finds the boundary line. Ball out of play. We'll get a ball in down on the boundary line. Anthony Mithen.
Dwayne, you mentioned the rain. It was quite heavy this morning here in Geelong and sticky sort of conditions now. It looks like the rain will stay away. The radar's saying we shouldn't get too much more this afternoon. Not a breath of wind down here. Which means it's perfect conditions for football. No sun in the eyes, no worries at all. It's fantastic. A little bit soft underfoot, which is good as well. Here's Clark, who did it comprehensively out of the ruck. He gets the handball going. Goodwin just slams it onto his right foot. Not his preferred. Bickley will go straight through here. No, he won't. He left it for Bicklins, who did that. It comes out to John Cock, and he misses on the snap. It's a point. A goal the difference.
He's imposing. Rhett Bicklins, isn't he? Big body there, rode the bump, out he comes. I think he's just up there to put the cat amongst the pigeons. So you'd think the standard procedure would be long to the front of the square. If Bicklins doesn't mark, it'll at least bring the contest down.
Or in this case, the crow amongst the cats. Nice do on Bicklins as well, Tim.
He was in the rooms for Gary Lyons' footy show, and he's had the fresh rinse through there.
Speaking of good do, Scarlett got the handball, put his teammate under pressure. Sanderson gone. In a lot of trouble here. It's a free kick, got to be almost to the Crows. No, says the umpire. They had about 3 prior opportunities there to get away and didn't, but the umpire will bounce 35 metres out. Very good at the stop plays here, the Crows. So they're lined up. Rashudo on Ling as we have the bounce.
Clark got a hand on it. Cats will get away with it though. Ablett high towards the wing. Graham comes at it, but not hard enough. Edwards. He's good play, that kid. From the wing. Finds Bickley at half forward. Spearing pass. Perry's on the move, and he gets there, takes the mark. Maybe just beyond his range. Just outside 50. Ian Perry, the key forward in the absence of Carey, Stevens and Burton in the Adelaide Crows lineup. He's kicked 7 goals, 10 this year, so has been a little inaccurate, and this is a tough kick from the pocket. In fact, it doesn't get any tougher than that. Off Milburn, towards full forward, it might come off. Off hands, Chapman, Ling, tried for Spriggs, missed him. Chance here for the Crows. Caught his Welsh, big tackle by Chapman. Tried to mop up the mess he started, and we'll get a ball up, 40 from goal.
Ling had too much zing on that handball, Tim.
He overcooked it, didn't he?
Yeah. He only had to lay it off to Spriggs running by. Inside 50s, 5-1 Adelaide's way.
Bounce. Clark taps it back. Chapman around the body. Ling. Ablett about to get caught. Oh, well played. But away from Edwards twice. Side of a couple of dummies. Kicks the high towards Graham. Punched away from him by Hart. McGregor. Hart coming to the open side. Doughty has a paddock to move in. If it finally sits for him, he's away, and it does. Runs the wing. No one comes at him, so he holds it all up. Goes with a high kick, hoping for Perry at half forward. Flies, gets hands to it. Ablett again, another possession perhaps coming up. He's over it, keeps it in, gets it out, drags it back in again. Sanderson can't grab it. McLeod, they grab him, and the umpire will sort it out with a bounce.
So McLeod getting a little bit of treatment in that pack. Long time between drinks, Geelong and Adelaide. Ball up, once again, inside the forward 50 for the Crows, where the ball has been pretty much all this match, apart from the one foray forward by the Geelong side. Here's McLeod trying to break through under enormous pressure. Rashudo first in, wrapped up there by David Johnson, another bounce.
Nice bounce down. Paul Chapman still on the outside of the pack, all by himself. You'd think that defensively you'd need a man. There he is, just to the left-hand side, about 7 o'clock on the clock post as we look at it.
Yeah.
A lot of men around at Geelong, that's why they can't win it up around midfield.
We've been going just the 8 minutes, and we've already had 11 stoppages so far. The ball comes inside to Massey. Massey over the top. Now the Crows can set something up. Perry with the left foot. Left it in the air a fair while, but it was good enough to find the target eventually. Now, have a look at the flood back here, Dermot.
Oh, well, they've just got to try and restrict them, but there's a big gap in between the pack. Oh.
It's like the old schoolyard at the moment. Bomb it up and fly your hardest. In they go. And at the bottom of the pack again there for the Adelaide Crows as Welsh will have a ball up, this time 15 to 20 metres directly in front of the Adelaide goal.
There's Norm sitting in front of Gary Ayres, got the binoculars up to the eyes there. It's a mini flood going on here.
Clark got the little tap down, looking for Goodwin, squeezed it forward. Welsh, a little poke of a handball. Enright, he's been pretty good. He's got one clearance so far from defence. This time he takes it to the boundary line as deliberately as you possibly can, but it's a throw in. Anthony Mitten.
Ed, there was a bit of a ruckus about personal security for yourself over in Adelaide, and also Gary Ayres coming back here to Skilled Stadium. Absolutely no problems at all. He got a kiss from an old lady and a couple of handshakes, and he was welcomed with open arms back to Skilled.
He only got 2 fingers in the from an old bloke outside the box. He didn't have 5 blokes trying to punch his head in the car park.
That's right.
A little bit different. Jeez.
Those 2 fingers have gone from an up yours Ayresy sign to the peace sign as it once was.
For victory.
Yes.
The Churchillian salute.
Well, it was victory last year for Gary Ayres here. Round 17, they got up by 3 points, and that started it all. From the ball in, Tawney, just outside 50, caught a little high by Sanderson, according to the umpire.
Now, there's going to be a lot of space between about 10 metres inside the 50 and the goal square. They're just going to bomb it up there again with Biglands.
High, Biglands, ball thumped down by Milburn. Harley chips it over the top to Ablett. Having a good first term, but the Cats just can't seem to get it in their half. Long kick towards the wing. Graham, 1-2, not the third grab. Ball slap between Graham's legs. Gets it somehow to Spriggs, but he fumbled. Half might pounce, in fact, McLeod. Oh, gives it strangely to Joel Corey. Here go the Cats on the rebound. McCarthy inside 50. They've got the spare man. McCarthy spots him, puts it in his direction. Ball thumped away from Gardner. Riccardi might pounce. Goes with a soccer. Trapped on the line by the goalkeeper.
Needed more from
by
that.
Massey.
They just needed more from that.
2 inside 50s have resulted in 2 behinds. He really had time to pick it up there, Derm.
Yeah, they just needed a bit more. Even their distribution going inside forward 50 could have been more accurate.
Those with Riccardi, though, on the right boot, he was going to struggle if he picked it up and ran to the pocket. Umpires picked out a free kick. Umpires picked out a free kick.
But Joel Corey, for a midfielder who wins a lot at all, he's 190 centimetres, and Scotty Welsh, by full forward, 188 centimetres, just couldn't get over the top of him.
Corey goes to Ling. Ling now thumps it long. Graham was in the pocket. He should get across for this mark. He doesn't. He went front and square. It's bounced over the top, though. It might bounce all the way. It does, but just off line and through for a point.
Charlie Gardner didn't get too high off the ground. Then he had to sit, and he got too close to the pack as he ran in for the mark, and his knee that he drives upward with went into the rump. And he stayed grounded. He could have taken a big catch then. Big mark.
Ben Hart, AFL Life member, 300 this afternoon, 259 day, 29 night, 8 State of Origin and 4 for Australia. Mark taken by Massey at half-back from his kick-in.
Had the pleasure of coaching him for Australia v Ireland. He is just a dream player to be in charge of.
Doughty to Begley, caught by Riccardi, holding the ball. Nigel Smart, of course, playing his 300 this afternoon as well.
Comes sideways here, space.
King, he might go all the way. Runs to 52. Long launch toward the goal square. Big fly over the back. Ball through for a behind. Gee, McCarthy, giant leap. Just couldn't quite bring it down with him. Oh, almost took it from his own man in the end, Gardner. And it's another behind to the Cats.
3 rush behinds and 1 to Cameron Ling so far. So they're getting it right to the line, the Cats, but they just can't find that extra 5 metres. It's 3 points. Adelaide started in sparkling form with a goal in the first 25 seconds of the game. Bickley's already racked up his 4th possession. He's a great player, this guy. Thought about retiring about a year ago.
There's still a bit left in him.
Thought better of it. Reading the news on Channel 9, the sport occasionally as well. He's got a career in the media lined up. One of the great performers. Now the Cats go forward. Graham's kick was a pretty good one.
Baited.
Umpire's paid the mark, has he?
Hayden Kennedy has paid it.
Yeah, what do you think, Dean? Did he have it long enough?
Yeah, I think he stopped it. I think he secured it.
So Rook has the ball.
He's a good player, this kid.
He's kicked 3 career goals, 2 this season. He's right out, just on out 52 metres. He gives it a good kick, though. Once again, it's going to be close and touched on the line. Or is it a goal? I think the umpire likes it. It's a goal. Rook's got it. And the Cats get there first.
Rook putting Geelong in front for the first time. And
Well, I'm sitting on centre wing calling it, and I thought it was a point all the way, and
Rushed, yeah.
whoops,
He was perfectly poised, the goal umpire, but
just couldn't see it.
yeah.
bounced to restart play. McLeod, 360, tried to get it to Doughty. Reached for it. Lord picks up off the bench. Tried to get a possession to a teammate, but it was kicked from mid-air by Edwards to half-forward. Off hands Ling, caught by Welsh. Good tackle. Johncock stole it somehow, slipped. Has been raining this morning. Bode taps it over the top. Pinkley tried to break free. And we might get a bounce here. Tom Harley laying the tackle at half-forward with Sanderson.
Oh, behind play, Rhett Biglands and Matty Scarlett. Biglands has just decided, I've had enough of this. Gave him a shove.
Anthony Method on the boundary line.
Aaron Lord's 50th club game for the Cats, coming 9 years after he made his debut. Of course, a stint at Hawthorn in between.
Absolutely, as the ball comes out, Begley gets the handball to Edwards. Bode, ooh, he just got the bad bounce, gone too high, was it? Umpire says, yep, it was an indiscriminate tackle because that man, Lord, had him done like a dinner, but just didn't put the grip on the right way. You can't grab him above the shoulders. It's as simple as that. 50 games for the Cats, 142 all up. This is game 143 for Aaron Lord.
Yeah, prior opportunity becomes totally irrelevant. If you don't apply the tackle correctly, that's just so obvious.
Bode is a very good footballer. This is his first touch. Left foot kick up towards half-forward, but King got back and did what a good man does, gets to the front and holds the mark. So the captain of the Cats, as Spriggs comes off and James Kelly comes on, and I think Kelly starting on the bench is a message. There was some talk during the week that he might actually have a spell in the Magoo's boys, so a kid who's got plenty of talent needs to do what the coach wants. Let's have a look at Bode here. It looks like he might have rolled his ankle a bit there as well. Now he's coming off from the ground, limping, jogging off at least, which is a good sign, but the bad news is it looks like he might have rolled that ankle in the tackle. Free kick in the ruck. It's going the way of Clark.
Matthew Clark started his career in Richmond's under-19s. Of course, furthered it at Brisbane. Kicks toward Perry. That was a magnificent pass. Perry shrugs Milburn. Too far out to score.
Prosciutto's having a spell up forward now. He'll be a leading forward, a foil for Biglands.
The leapers go up off hand Scarlett, who's been a good performer this year, to Ling. Now Sanderson hacks it towards Lord on the wing. Lord, Massey, boundary line might beat them. Lord gets the free. And as the boys told you, he was on loan to Hawthorn for a little while, but back where it all started.
93 games with the Hawkers.
Kicks toward Graham. Flies. Can't quite pull it down. Johnson threads his way through. Can't get the kick away. Opposite 28. Begley gets it. Johncock. Spearing ball towards Tawney. One grab. Gathers it in the end. Caught by Kelly. 360 tackle. Umpire said play on. Enright. Inside 50. Looking for McCarthy. Can't get there to take the mark. Well played by Bassett. Edged him out of the contest. And the ball rolls out of play. Inside 50 for the Cats. It took them 10 minutes to get the lead, but they hold it still. And we're about to tick into time on opening term.
And young Kelly coming on there. Obviously, he's been stung a little bit, starting on the bench, and has responded the way you expect a good young player to.
Yeah, no, he's got a lot of talent. He's spent a few games on the bench this season, so he has been close to seeing a stint in the VFL.
Massey just got the arm loose, thumped forward by Prosciutto, but it spills out to Riccardi. The big left foot, he's done that at training 100 times and probably done it 100 times better, but in the end it's been marked by the great McCarthy. Matthew McCarthy, formerly of Old Severians, in game number 4 has kicked 4 goals, 2 this season.
197 centimetres, 101 kilograms. There's a fair bit of him.
Picked at number 69 in the 2001 draft. In he comes. This is a big goal for the Cats if he can get it. He runs around.
Fair effort.
And has slotted it through. No one on the line there for the Crows. I don't know what was going on there. The umpire had a clear view, but no one was standing next to him, and he's put it through.
Who passes his father today. His father played 3 games for the Cats. McCarthy's 4th. His father never kicked a goal, and Matthew has just put Geelong in the lead by 9 points. Lord gets the handball, tries to thread it through to Rook. The boy off the rookie list kicks the Cats to half forward. Riccardi's on his own. He can run all the way. Goes with the left foot, high towards the goal square. McCarthy's there again. Hard over the top. Can he rush it through for a behind? He does.
You can see Benny's mind ticking over there. Oh, have I left it in play here? Will it just sit up for somebody to run past, sweep it, and kick an easy goal?
4 rush behinds now for the Cats already. They're 2-5 to 1-1, but they're getting it right to the line, as we saw yet again on that occasion. Going up high, almost taking the mark there was Begley, the former St Kilda player, originally from Sturt. Ball comes out now to centre wing. Bickley again drives it forward, but the Cats have got the numbers here. Could have been called back, or Milburn could have taken the mark. Sanderson, they almost mucked it up. Harley now gives it back. Oh, ouch.
They
kick from Sanderson is over line, out of bounds on the full.
They are getting numbers back, but when it gets deep into the forward line for the Adelaide Crows, they lack the numbers around the midfield to win it on the next possession.
Biglands gets it across to Goodwin, who's a thumping left foot kick. 9 goals for the season.
He is a massive kick, you're dead right there.
He can really load up. A fantastic player. So, for a bloke who's been an All-Australian and right up there in best and fairest, he's underrated, giving the quality around him. But you get a game everywhere else in the league as well. Here's a sensational player. He comes in, he gives it a massive roost too. It just drops short. Can they get the mark? Ooh, just over the line it goes for a rush behind. And the margin is now 9 points.
You're going to get a lot of rushed footy at the other end with Geelong, because they're playing Gardner up in front of goal. Chambers has swung through there. Benny Graham will go back to that spot. So they're going to bomb long to the goal square, and they need to bomb it to about 20 metres out, but they're actually kicking it to the goal square, which is easy just to rush and push over.
And Dermot, sometimes the shape of this ground as well, it's a cigar shape.
Yep.
So you get within 50, you see plenty of goals, so you have a go, whereas at other grounds, you're out wide and you try to centre it.
Milburn long from fullback, comes to Ling. Johnson caught, good tackle, got it away legally according to the umpire. Ling wide to the wing. McGregor, good mark.
You saw all those Geelong numbers around the ball then, which just means that Adelaide are going to have them up around the middle.
Tawney to Begley, centre of the ground, looking for the options up forward, goes high. Welsh, ball tucked away from him by Harley. Riccardi playing well, gives it to Chapman, over the top to Harley, who started his AFL career with Port Adelaide. Kicks the ball towards Abbott on the wing, close to the line. Matner tries to take it across, and he does. We'll get a ball in. Tom Harley played just the 1 game for Port Power.
And Mytho, somebody's about to return to Skilled Stadium.
Ronnie Burns on in a very different strip, to a few boos here from the Charles Brownlow stand.
134 games for the Cats. Ronnie Burns said he's been living for this one, and he's on. Corey off the side of his boot towards half forward. How will it bounce for Gardner? Got one a little high, according to the umpire, and will take it.
So Gardner, 6-3, the free kicks in favour of Geelong. He squares it up to Corey, who plays on straight away. Has a flying shot at the goal. Has it got the carry? No, it hasn't. Have they got the mark? No, they haven't either. Play on as Edwards takes it away. No score. Looks up and decides to thump it long, and it's going to come straight back because Corey gets back and takes the fingertip mark. Corey has leads on. Riccardi was the man at centre half forward. He's still there if Ling can get it across. 9th possession coming up for Cameron Ling. He kicks to the high spot. Graham, up he goes. Couldn't get near it. Here at the back is Kelly. If it sits for him, it does. He breaks the tackle, gets the handball out wide. The snap of the goal is offline, and it came from Lord, and he really should have made a bit of fist of that one. It's a point.
Specialty. They are his specialty, Aaron Lord.
Yeah.
He has made a trade in league football of kicking those types of goals. Well,
when you love kicking a goal, they're the ones you get, don't you? Around the body. Just a little step to the side. It's 10 points the difference, but the Cats are now 2-6, and that could hurt them later in the game.
Bassett from fullback. Edwards, back pocket. Takes some time. Inside 4 minutes to quarter time. Crows got the first goal about 30 seconds into this game. And they haven't scored one since, and they won't score one here. It's out of bounds on the full. Free kick to King. The Cats a chance late to add to their score. see the possessions per goal statistic. Chapman has had a fine season and a half for the Cats. Goes long from 50. Just misses to the near side. And to behind. His value to the Cats early on was being Gary Ablett Jr.'s chauffeur to training from Torquay, but he's certainly paid his way with goals since then.
And McLeod loitering by himself.
9 scoring shots to 3, Dermot. You've got a thought on the footballing gods and scoring shots, haven't you?
You only get X amount of them, predetermined before every game. You've got to make them count.
No, they're not at the moment. The Cats have had plenty of opportunity, but the good thing is they're playing good football.
They are.
And they lead by 11 points.
They are playing good footy forward of the centre. Their defence, they're swarming back with numbers inside their defensive 50, and then when they kick it to the centre of the ground, it's rush and rule out. It's 3-on-1 in favour of Adelaide, but they've just laboured it forward, and then they're a chance forward at the centre.
Big Cameron Mooney has just come on for the Geelong side. Inside 50, 11 for Adelaide for 3 shots. Geelong have had 9 shots from their 10 inside 50s. So Mooney going forward. So it's a pretty tall forward line they've got down there now with...
Big.
Yeah, down there they've got McCarthy at full forward. They've got Graham lurking around. Mooney's up there. And Riccardi's a good mid-sized player as well. Throw in at half-forward flank now for the Adelaide Crows. Bigland's got the tap, just laid it off nicely.
Oh, good shepherd by Rashido.
Good tackle as well on Doughty, came from Kelly. And we'll have a bounce on centre wing.
They yet to get their midfield happening, the Adelaide Crows, but Geelong are really holding them up here. See the weight of numbers to the left-hand side of screen with Geelong at the bounce down here.
23rd stoppage of the game in 25 minutes of footy.
King to Bickley, the captain of the Crows, and their 2 premierships, kicks the half forward of Harley's fist, and it's out of play again.
Done very well here, the Cats. The Adelaide Crows are very good at the stoppages, taking them away, and that's Matthew Bode. Krusty, that's a knee they're looking at.
Yeah. We thought it was an ankle, was the male we got first up.
He did well to recognise him, didn't it? Free kick out of this contest, and it'll go the Cats' way to King.
He's always been a legs man.
Chance for a late score. Ablett on the outer side. Crunched in a double tackle. And the way he's been playing, it needs to bring him down. And it will be a ball up. 19 years old, Gary Ablett. Father in most people's top 5 players of all time, but
Felt that one.
from the talk, he won't be added in the AFL Hall of Fame this year. From the ruck contest, Kelly caught by McLeod. Tackle slipped down to his leg. Rook caught, gets a free kick for too high.
Oh, Bungie McLeod then just looked like he thought about putting a knee into him. Now I can't work out why that is not a free kick.
Well, the Cats go inside 50 again. Up they go, front and square. Graham was there, applied the grip. It came out to Riccardi. Here's Gary Ablett on the left foot. Listen to the crowd. No, he doesn't go for the goal. He sets it up. McCarthy is there as well. Bassett off the ground. Oh, very nice bit of footwork there, yeah. Gets it out to Hart. That was very good play. Hart in trouble. Kicks to the boundary line and does it magnificently. That was poise under pressure for a throw-in 40 metres out from the Geelong goal. The Cats are up on their feet. Their fans are starting to find voice. They lead by 11 points, and we've got less than a minute left on the clock in the first term.
Well, they won't be tempted. Stephen King, I wouldn't think he'd be tempted to try and take the ball out of the air, but Bigland's has given away a few free kicks like this already. Ablett's a target.
Big chance for a late score here, the Cats. Slap back into the corridor. McGregor almost caught. Shrugged the tackle. Edwards wide. Searches for the sanctuary of the boundary line, and it is out of play. Inside a minute remaining. Clark also on the bench next to Bode. Getting some more work done. Grimacing in pain.
Inside 50s, both teams have gone 11 times, so Geelong are working a lot better forward of the 50.
Biglands and King. King wins it. The kick smothered. Dives in. Ruckman that likes to get his knees dirty. Diving in also Tawney. Lays the tackle. And we will get another ball up. Lays the tackle on Joel Corey, who had 31 possessions in the win against Hawthorn last week. A career high. 20 seconds remaining. Cats at half forward. Ball slapped towards Chapman. Can he get the handball to Ling? Does in the end. Waited. Back to Chapman. The 1-2. Can he finish it? Runs to 30. Drop punt. It's home.
Always had to come back from Cameron Ling, didn't it? There was no way he was going to try and take the flying pot shot on his right foot, and that is fantastically well done by Cameron Ling. He knew his limitations, Right now, he's thinking, kick it. No, I know my limitations. Under pressure, non-dominant side, back inboard. And Paul Chapman, as he called, he's a goal kicker as well. He's a hard little nut, runs through the middle, and is dangerous, can hurt you on the scoreboard.
So, there we go. The Adelaide Crows kicked the first goal in the first 25 seconds of the game with 2 seconds left on the clock. The Catters have kicked the last 3 and lead by 17 points. The home crowd are very excited, and there's the siren. And a warm round of applause from the faithful here at Skill Stadium. A pretty good crowd have turned up. They came late. There's a few vacant seats there for a while, but we're in for a fantastic afternoon of football.
17-point lead here to the Geelong Cats here. Bomber Thompson's done his homework, and he comes in with that 17-point lead here. But several weeks ago, they headed the Brisbane Lions early on in the game and overrun. Can they keep it going here? Geelong 3-7-25. Adelaide.
The first quarter, so about coming back into this game and taking any further part.
Thanks, Smitho.
All right, well, that's
That
where
is
it
the
happened.
injury.
Yeah,
He's screaming already.
Yeah. So that's a shocker for Matthew Bode, a medial ligament, we believe, at this stage. Anthony Mitson will keep us updated on the boundary line as we start the second quarter of football from Skilled Stadium. It was an ordinary bounce, and Bigland slapped it forward. Out comes Welsh. And the Crows started beautifully in the first quarter. Tawney gets it over the top to Welsh. Back it goes. Goodwin around the body with the left foot. Kicks it up to the half-forward flank position. Big thump from behind. Over the top and over the line it goes for a throw-in. Milburn was the man with the big fist.
Geez, good value, isn't he, Darren Milburn? About 3 years ago, there's Matty Bode on the bench, unhappily. Yeah, Milburn about 3 years ago started off as a midfielder for the season, and he was averaging about 28 possessions for about 10 weeks in a row. Now he's a pinch hit key backman.
Corney over the top of the ball will have another bounce. Yet another stoppage for the day. I think that's number 34 off the top of the head. Now ball up. Umpire will retreat back over the line.
Suburban football, Karinia Park as they once called it. And the ball slapped back over the Moorabool Street half-forward flank for the Crows, and we'll get another ball in. You mentioned Milburn, Dermot. He rose to fame or infamy, depending on how you look at it, with that clash with Stephen Silvani at Optus Oval in the final game of 2001, and was unfairly treated in many respects, but he is a very good campaigner for the Cats.
I agree with that.
High kick from Doughty towards half-forward, big fists fly. John Cock crumbs over the top to Ronnie Burns. He knows where they are here. Doesn't go for them, though. Might get it in the end. Ball comes up. Chance here for Johnson of the Cats. And John Cock tackles him. We'll get a ball up.
And he knew even more than where the goals are that he had no right foot.
Yeah.
He had to turn back into traffic there.
There are a lot of players in the game at the moment that have only got one side, which is
Amazing.
Surprising in this day and age. Big fly by Biglands. Ronnie does know. Can he bounce it there? Ball dumped clear towards the boundary by Harley. And we'll get a ball in.
Mark Rasciuto was behind Harley there. He started off down forward. He's got to straighten them up. He'll be leading from the goal square now. He needs to straighten them up. He won the game for them down here last year. I think he kicked 5.
Chapman's got him at the moment. Throw in. Forward pocket for the Crows. King and Biglands, they both went and both missed it. And they ride him into the ground. Harley, the third man in for the Cats. A ball up. From 20 metres out.
To see, too, at the start of the game, it was King up against Clark. Biglands came on, and now Biglands resumes after quarter time. So Clark getting a big break here off the ball.
King got the tap, but McLeod got the ball. He took 2 steps, and down he went. Harley and King again laying the tackles. So the big 2 Cats in defence, making sure the ball goes nowhere.
Yeah, I reckon Andy McLeod could be a running back in American football, couldn't he?
Jerry Rice.
He could be anything he wanted to be in anything, I think.
I think you're dead right.
Imagine him playing soccer as well. Actually, don't imagine that. We don't even think about it at the moment. Biglands gets the tap. Here he is again. Ronaldo gets it out. Prosciutto ran over the top of it, picked up by Ling, concedes a bit of ground. Enright, who's been good today so far, to Scarlett, who had a double grab at it, but he had enough time to swing onto the boot and clear it away. Here they go now. David Johnson, the big news at Geelong as he kicks up towards the wing position. Milburn lost the ball. Kelly didn't. He was grabbed. Got rid of it. Edwards, he just threw that one out, didn't he, Derm? Palm off. Doughty goes to ground, looking for one in the back, and the umpire said he got it. And will take the free kick on the defensive 50 for the Crows.
Yeah, tackled and under pressure, just palmed it off over Melbourne Storm. Stephen Kearney couldn't have dished off better than that with a tackle on. Watch him throw it out with the left hand.
Yes, we're an international call today, aren't we? We're going gridiron, rugby league, soccer.
Union. It'll take over the world, this game anyway. High towards the wing. We won't see it, but it's one of the greats, the great game of the world, surely. Corey chips it. Mark's taken by Perry at half-back.
Maybe not that bit of play.
No. All the way back to half-back. Spears the ball towards Begley. Centre half-back takes the mark. Held up by Chapman. Chips it over the top. John Cox in space in the corridor. Straight down the middle he runs. Goes with a long high kick. Prosciutto the target. Punch away by Harley was good. Down towards Massey. McLeod in the pocket. Tucked up against the boundary. Here's a genius to Welsh. Didn't go for goal. Went with the percentage option, and Scott Welsh has taken the mark about 20 metres out.
They'd be disappointed, Bomber Thompson. A couple of players just springing loose there. They've played very accountable football, the Cats, but they had them lined up then the centre corridor from John Cock, who started it, to Welsh at the other end.
They did, and they've been pressing very hard on Adelaide, and this is a little bit of a give-up if he kicks the goal.
They got the opening goal of the opening term, and Welsh gives them the first goal of the second term.
We need to grow. I'm just not sure how to go about it.
All right, well, let's have a look at the options.
When it comes to business thinking, chartered accountants have the superior training and business experience to guide your business in the right direction.
How big do you want this to be?
How big?
Yeah.
So Welsh gets his first goal for the season, and the Crows get their second of the match, the first coming at the 25-second mark of the first quarter. That one coming at the 5.5-minute mark of the second. It's been a long time between drinks, but as you can see, it's only 11 points of difference.
Doing so well here, the Cats. I mean, everyone assumed that, and myself included, Adelaide's midfield underneath would just dominate the Geelong midfield, but this man's coached pretty well. He's pre-planning. He's been good. Big numbers back against the Adelaide forwards.
King gives it a whack. It went 40 metres.
Put that down as a kick.
Up towards centre forward. It came straight back, unfortunately, for the Cats. In the back against Scarlett will go to Welsh. Starting to come into the game.
We'll get on the lead here.
So too Ronnie Burns, so too Perry. They're queuing up. The Cats have just lost their way a little bit at the moment. They've got to be careful. They've had 10 scoring shots to 4. And sometimes the energy can be sapped away very quickly against these big sides, particularly like Adelaide. So Perry's lining up. He's kicked 7 goals, 10, and 1 into the man on the mark today. 7-10 for the season.
Has improved, though.
39 goals, 39 in his career, Derm. Here we go.
He was good in the pre-season, the Wizard Cup.
He's absolutely 50-50 when he has a shot of goal. That's that one is 50-50 between the big sticks. That was a beauty. And they're back, the Crows.
Week after week, I go into the streets and meet all sorts of very interesting people. If aliens were looking for intelligent life forms, they'd be very disappointed. Yep, I mean a lot of crazy fans.
But now I'm proud to tell you I've become a true Crazy fan myself. And why not? Crazy Johns are the best mobile phone retailers in the country because everyone knows they give the best deals. Crazy Johns are #1 for mobile phones. Call 13 22 99.
Crazy Johns, we love you, mate!
2 goals in a row to the Crows. Margin cut back to 5 points. It was 17 points at quarter time. King in the ruck against Biglands. Biglands didn't even get a chance at it. Corey caught. Kick straight up in the air. Tawny's got it, but they have him. And we'll get another ball up. Joel Corey, the Cats' #1 possession getter this year, but 16th overall in the AFL. Cats with no one in the top 10 for kicks and handballs at the moment. Ball in the middle. Biglands thought he could break free. Corey over the top of the couple again, lays a tackle, and we'll get another ball up. Still inside the centre square. Nigel Smart starting on the bench and staying on the bench at the moment. 34 years of age and his 300th this afternoon, just like Ben Hart. Nigel Smart, 258 day games, 32 night, 8 state of origin and 2 for Australia. Bickley, who's about 3 games behind them, gets it to Riccardi, to Kelly, high inside 50, McCarthy flies, can't bring the mark down again. Ablett over it, left it for Ling, just hacks it towards goal, it rolls its way, Cam Mooney off the ground, can't drag it back, and it's another behind.
That is a situation where you do have to know your limitations. He should have actually gathered that, done a big U-turn, it would have been a simple snap. That's
or a pass inboard.
Yeah, if you think your way through that, you're going to kick a goal 9 times out of 10.
Got a point instead. Bassett from defensive 40. Good kick out wide. Gallagher's taken the mark on half-back flank. Perry wants it long down the line. Gallagher's got
if he wants.
Yeah, he's got Doughty on. And John Cock over the top if Doughty turns around.
Got to stop this, the Geelong team. This is how they move it really well, the Crows.
Bickley to Tawney, who got away nice and easily there. Now it goes out the full forward.
Well done him.
Rashudo, too strong, too good. And we'll line up to put them square with the Cats.
Now, when we get a replay at this, people say, oh, look, gym work doesn't help you play better footy. Think of bench press. Now, that is just repetitive work on a bench press syndrome, 3 barbell weights, and he just bench presses him out of the way. He is one powerful unit.
He's kicked 13 goals for the season, 187 goals in his 226 games. Mark Rashudo.
We get another front-on view of that one, Ed. You'll see the bench press come into it right away. But keep going with his stats. He is a good, solid shot.
Lining up to make it all square. Cats about 11 scoring shots, a goal. This will be the 6th. But the margin will be 0 if he kicks straight. He kicks straight. Scores are level.
Some crop circles continued overnight and started to
The new Holden Ute, a force of nature.
Scores level, Mark Rashudo making it so, and there he is with strength against Tom Harley. Doubt there'd be anyone stronger than Mark Rashudo, pound for pound in the AFL, maybe Glenn Archer.
Oh, that hurt.
Big crunch in the middle, and Biglands is down. Ball not clear.
That hurt.
Massey to his own advantage. Corey at him, forces him to backtrack. High kick by Goodwin towards half forward. Perry under it, ball thumped clear. Johnson, King, Enright. Lord, back inboard, the Cats will work it out. Johnson, wobbly ball towards half forward. Graham! And he may be within range.
We've got 106 kilograms all in the point of a knee, Dermot, right in his sternum there, big ones.
The stiletto principle. That really hurts. And this bloke is tough. He is genuinely tough. And Benny Graham, yeah, it'd be lovely to see Benny unload from 65 to 70. Let's have a look at that. Oh, bottom rib, and he knows right away. That could be a rib.
Been in trouble a few times this year in similar circumstances. Graham to put the Cats in front. Can't get the range. He didn't hit it right. Off hands, McLeod into trouble. Tries to get a stat away. Pack falls, McLeod finally got it out. Bickley, close quarters. Goodwin was there to break free. Riccardi threw the handball out. Kelly's got it. He's caught by Bickley. It's hot in the kitchen at the moment. Massey gets it out to McGregor. Hacks it towards half-back. Ronnie Burns might get a free. Gets it for in the back.
So give up by Brenton then. Now they're away.
They fan out wide the Crows. John Cock gets the ball out wider still. There's the ball from Matner, goes wide and out of bounds on the full. That's a bad kick. And Harley will bring it back for the Cats. Where's the ball up? the transfer of play as Milburn now goes up the middle of Skilled Stadium to Peter Riccardi.
Has to go wide again because everybody forward of him has a hard press man on man. Now this will work.
Real opening up here if Chapman can get back quickly. Ling is on the wing. Dare I say it, he goes ping. Waiting. Hope he kicks the king. It's Ling. Up towards Graham, who's grabbed it at the ball. The Cats fans wanted it. It's like the old pantomime. They could see it, but the referee couldn't. Over the line and out of bounds. We'll have a throw in.
Brett Biglands is up and running again.
That's holding.
Yep, that's holding all day long.
Yeah, unless you're a full forward, of course, in a goal square, and then you're allowed to do that. Actually, you can hold them by the head. There it is. Here's Riccardi. Tries to squeeze the kick away. We'll have a bounce. We're at half-forward flank for the Geelong side. It's scores level, and we've been playing 14 1/4 minutes.
Crowd getting into it. It's good to hear them find some voice.
Oh, bother.
Well, maybe not that kind of voice, but
something to discuss over a port later in the night.
King straight up in the air. Begley through traffic. Threaded his way through somehow. Oh, Perry. Good, strong hands. Crowd a little restless here. Perry getting a word from the umpire.
Now, this is penalising the team.
Yes, it is.
It should have been penalised by taking the ball off him. You can't just hack a bloke in the head and the guts.
Rashido flies from behind. Sanderson got hands to it. Rook thread the handball through, but to Burns. Handballed it to him before, but he was playing for the Cats then. Burns around the body, and he kicks it behind. Interestingly enough, Ronnie Burns said at the start of this week that he expects Brenton Sanderson to play on him, and Brenton Sanderson has in fact got the job. Anthony Mithen on the boundary line.
Yeah, just checked Brett Bigland's sternum before he did some running work. He's okay sitting down, doesn't need any medical assistance, just gather his breath and should be right to resume.
Just enough time to get angry before he goes back out there. There he is. He looks a bit pale.
With good reason. Yeah. Perry takes a screamer. Big, strong mark at centre-half forward. He's playing good football. He kicks it out wide. It stays in the air for a fair way. Welsh comes out. Milburn put all the pressure he could on him. And that was a strong mark.
I reckon he got one into the... If I was Mean Gene, I'd say the solar plexus.
Yeah. Have a look at this.
What's the rib cage here?
He's wide open here, and yeah. Ouch.
Good on you, Darren Milburn.
Is that 50, boys?
It technically is.
Just have to turn your eyes to the ball in your last 3 steps, don't you?
Yeah.
If you're going to cannon into the guy.
Got to give the umpire an out.
So Welsh has kicked 1 goal for the day. It was the first of this quarter. And this to put the Adelaide Crows further in front. They lead by 1 point at this stage. So Welsh has regathered his composure after being cleaned up. And the kick won't come back enough, though. It's just through for 1 point. 2 points the difference here at Skilled Stadium. Adelaide leading the Cats 3-8-26 to 4-4-28. As you can see, 8 1/4 minutes left on the clock for the first half.
13-man zone employed by the Adelaide Crows. So it's going to be pretty difficult to pinpoint one here.
Milburn does pinpoint the back pocket Enright. High kick towards the wing and a wide kick, way too wide. Free kick to Tawney.
So that's the zone there. Because he went so short with the first one, the zone's still in place and they try and clear it out wide.
Edwards. Now Gallagher. High towards full forward. Welsh under it. Got hands. Goodwin back at the pack. Burns out, sprints them. Spins around. He likes his chances. Ronnie, welcome back to town.
When did you last stop and think about your comprehensive car insurance? Does yours compare with Amy? Amy offers you the security of an agreed value for your car. And we reinstate your rating 1 for life if you've held it for the last 3 years and your insurer takes it away. Amy even offers a free skilled driver's course for your children under 25 if you're insured with us. You can expect more from Amy. Switch now.
Lucky you're with Amy.
So Ronnie Burns has kicked many memorable goals in that pocket, but he's received far more ovation when he did them. He gets his first against his old club, and suddenly the Crows are away by 8 points. They've kicked the 4 goals in this quarter. Geelong are yet to score a goal. 18 minutes gone. Here's a chance now for Joel Corey. who gets his kick up towards half forward. Coming out is Graham. He kept his feet. Needs to keep doing so. Over the line it goes. We'll have a throw in.
Played 99 consecutive games for the Cats today. Next week being the 100th.
Fantastic effort for a big man.
Super effort.
He was to be dropped for round 6, but Tom Harley failed a fitness test and he stayed in the team.
Throw in. Clark got the tap on that occasion. Edwards has been good to McLeod, who's finding a little bit of space. Puts the boot down. Now he kicks it to centre half forward. Out they come. Oh, Perry was absolutely magnificent today. That was great stuff. He was out of position and he desperately wanted the ball, more so than anybody else, and he got it. This is what lets him down, though. His kicking's not too good, and Milburn cops one in the back and gets the free kick. Umpire's calling it back.
He just had to wait on the kick then, because Milburn is not Rashido's direct opponent, but he peeled off when he saw Perry telegraph the kick.
Sanderson gets it out wide. It's Enright who has the ball to Will Slade. Derm's
He's gone.
Slade alive. Has Enright. Kicks to the pocket. Over the line and out of bounds. No. It stayed in play. Now the Cats have got a chances. McCarthy sets it up for Kelly. Kelly kicks to the square, but it was a miss-hit. And John Cock takes the mark at full back for the Crows.
Got a couple of spare men, the Crows. Doughty's one of them, takes the mark. Tawney peels off, he goes inboard to the other, and that's Edwards, away down the corridor. The side of the square, gets a Shepherd. Thought about another bounce, goes long. Burns and Sanderson wins this one.
Yeah, Ronnie's not much chop above head. He just needed one other player to bring it to ground.
Enright, now the Cats on the rebound with the loose man, with Chapman. From the wing, looks up, sees Ablett running into some space, flies, can't take the mark. Well played by John Cock, ball out of play. And Ablett, while his father's best ability was above his head, Ablett likes it on the ground.
So impressed with John Cock. In his second season of AFL football, Gary Ablett Jr. going through a purple patch in the last month or so.
John Cock from Port Lincoln that brought us some greats like Greg Phillips and Danny Hughes. Ball in the back pocket for the Crows. Doughty from that back pocket chips it towards the wing. Milburn comes at it hard. Attack with the only way you can. And off the shoulder and out of bounds, and we will get a ball in.
Dean Lincoln?
Yes. Didn't play a lot of games though, Dean.
It's a good catch though.
Wouldn't have been a bad centre-half back though. It was almost as big as Greg Phillips.
Dean was talking about bench pressing before.
Yeah, I reckon he would have done a bit.
Tawney grabs. Did well. Stripped out. Got away from the tackle Chapman in the end. John Cox it up towards half-forward flank. Thumped on again. Sanderson. Milburn. Cats need a good possession here, and Milburn provides it. Standing over the top.
Standing up all right down there at the moment. Last few minutes, they're breaking down across the midfield.
Riccardi was ambitious and might still come off. Wrapped up was Ablett and thrown to the ground. And Bigley's been good. He's been amongst it. Had a possession a moment ago and a good tackle. The ball up on centre wing with the Adelaide Crows by 8 points.
Cam Mooney, he's coming to the bench without a stat. He had the one soccer out of the air.
Yep, and Chambers coming back on for the Cats. Riccardi over the top to Chapman. Chapman looks up, there's no lead, so he has to thump it long and hope for the best. McCarthy's there, Graham's there, they're all up. Punch to the ground, Ablett underneath it. Did he get one in the back? No. Just a bit of pressure applied. They lock it up with their feet. And they'll have a ball up 40 metres out. Coming down to the last 4.5 minutes of the second half. The Cats have not scored to the city end of Skilled Stadium. They've had 2 goalless quarters this season against Brisbane and Collingwood. And they need to do something quickly here, or else they'll break up their third.
Here's for a couple of minutes into time on second term on the wing. Tawney, part of the Kane Johnson swap, and it's been good for the Crows so far, as it has been for Richmond. Close to the boundary line, Ronnie Burns tries to keep it alive. It's a good one. Can he get out of the tackle? He can't. He got the kick away just in time. Chambers pushed off it by Begley. Kelly had it but lost it. Tackle late on Doughty. And we will get a ball up. Pat on the head from Chapman for Kelly. Just having a look at whether this is... How do you judge that one, Derm?
Well, the ball's actually got to be in play. So, pretty standard. Pretty standard. Kingy's got... I mean, that's well within your rights once the ball gets bounced.
But not before.
No.
Just outside attacking, 50 for the Crows. Tawney and McLeod hoping to pounce. Riccardi hacks it toward the wing. Rolling ball, and we will get a ball in. Closest is Ling having a rest, as well as Cam Mooney. Cam Mooney, who played in the Kangaroo Premiership, along with Scott Walsh, who's playing down the other end for the Adelaide Crows. Cam Mooney only playing 11 games for the Roos, but the Premiership was one of them. Doughty tries to dish it up. Riccardi steals, kicks to half forward. Getting back, Mattner takes the saving mark for the Crows.
A couple of good tackles from James Kelly there, really throwing his body in as the ball goes wide now, back to the outer side. Gallagher has got it for the Adelaide Crows side. He goes up the line.
Oh, he worked hard then. He came across from this half-forward flank near us. He's run 100 metres on sprint to be a target, man. He is working hard.
He's been very good today.
Scarlett on Rashudo for this incoming.
Puts it high. They're the two men flying. Good winners there. Ronnie Burns. Can he do it a second time? Beautiful handball out wide. A chance now. Dowdy isn't on the right foot. He has the kick. Is it Bassett? Bassett snuck down. Bassett snuck down and kicked the big goal. He loves them.
We did have a patch
in a row to Adelaide, and the Cats staring their way at another scoreless quarter in this season. 3 minutes. Can they get a score at least? Kelly tries to break through in the middle. Doughty tackled by Chambers and Corey, and we will get another bounce still inside the centre square. You mentioned the Geelong hierarchy. There is Mark Thompson on screen. Having a look at James Kelly lay that tackle. You mentioned he was in danger of being dropped, Dermot. He barracked for Essendon as a kid, James Kelly, and his hero was Mark Thompson, his coach. Massey kicks to half forward. Burns dropped it, mopped up his own mess.
Well, he's comfortable.
Gallagher on the left foot, chips it towards Smart. Well, Bassett's kicked one. Why not another defender?
He is a big kick, Smarty.
Loads up. Spent the whole game on the bench so far. High towards full forward, punch clear. And across the boundary line, we'll get a ball in forward pocket for the Crows.
Didn't get much carry on that. You know, I think that Bomber Thompson's planning today has been excellent, first rate. But now that the Adelaide team is getting their act going, plan B is not working quite that well.
Clark, beautiful tap. Goodwin, great hands. It comes out. Begley's kick was smothered. Spills again for Doughty. He gets it over to Edwards from 40 metres out. Edwards back towards the square. Smart up high. Good punch from behind. Came from Milburn over the line and out of bounds.
But they've just got to plug away here, the Cats. They're 17 points up at quarter time. They're in arrears by 14 now, but they just keep having to, they just have to keep nagging away here. Brought Cameron Ling back on. Rook goes to the bench.
Clark up against Chambers. Umpire's picked one out. It's going there to Chambers.
A lot of that slinging happening in the ruck today. The only time we've seen the ruckman jump is at the centre circle. Everything else has been flat-footed, wrestle, sling.
Chambers to Sanderson. Needs to be a good kick, and it is to Ling. Gave everyone a second look at it. Ling in the back pocket. Coming down to 1 minute left in the quarter. Cats have not scored a goal. They've only, in fact, scored one behind for the whole quarter.
Well done, Benny.
Graham's taking the mark. Now he can go.
Now, he should be allowed to play on. That's penalising him.
Yeah, the rule was he wasn't behind the mark.
Yeah, that's because he played on.
Yeah. Yeah, bad umpiring on that occasion. Graham kicks it up. Good mark from the side from Spriggs, back on the ground.
Space inside 50 now.
King's the man. The kick was a shocker, though. Good luck marking that. Bounces over the top. John Cox has a clean run at the ball. Tries to step around Albert. Gets it across to McGregor. McGregor got the handball working. Up the line it goes to Massey. Now it spills out wide to Gallagher. Slams it on the boot. 25 seconds left in the quarter. Cats have got the mark. No, play on, says the umpire. Touched off the boot. It comes out. Oh, he's given it a for a throw. Oh, umpire is trying his best to get rid of it there. Look at that.
Well, it was John Cock who won the ball, and the other side was young Will Slade who let him run out, and he sat back by himself and created this option.
Perry, beautiful kick with 10 seconds left. Goodwin has just been held up long enough. Here's their time. Needs to be a clear mark. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. They got it. Rashudo marked it with 1 second to go.
Oh, that was power. That was power. Yeah, the sling was there, Ed.
It was all there, though, with 1 second to go. Let's have a look at this one. Yeah, that's right.
Can't argue that much. Let's have a look at this. I tell you what,
They're sort of pushing for position, aren't you? I think they're a bit stiff, the Crows, and Rashudo with 1 second on the clock. It's the third goalless quarter this season for the Geelong Football Club. The Cats, 3-8. They scored 1 behind for the quarter, while the Crows were able to kick 5 goals too. It's 6-4-40. They lead by 14 points. Coming up next, it's the Holden half-time with the great man Dermot Brereton and Dwayne Russell. This is AFL on 9.
Strain, nothing too serious. Brett Bigland, they've checked him, just a bit of bruising on the ribs. I don't think we'll ever find out if there's a crack one there anyway. Sitting on the bench, interestingly, don't know whether he'll take any further part, certainly not for the minute.
14-point lead to the Crows. They were down by 17 points at the first change. They're up at the long break. Matthew Clark about to go at it. Stephen King starting in the ruck for the Cats in this half. Paul Chambers started in the ruck at the opening for the Cats. And the bounce, and we're underway. King, a backhander, but to Bickley, kick half smothered. Ricochets, Doughty. Had a good first half, chips at Edwards. Crows away already. Massey from the wing. High kick inside, 50, under it. Forced to punch was Perry. Harley was in front spot. King caught to Scarlett. Oh, get away with it, the Cats. Long towards half forward. Graham and Smart. 2 number 7s. Graham wins the battle. Tries to claim the mark. Umpire says no. Smart corrals him. Almost ripped his ears off, and will get a bounce at half forward for the Cats, and Graham is not happy.
With good reason.
Yeah.
He marked that.
Just a tiny touch, perhaps, from Nigel Smart, but that was all.
Hey. Well, Ben Graham there is a little bit stiff. He did get the real fist on the ball. Anyway, it comes out to Ling. High up and under. Here's a chance for Graham now. Smart certainly got the fist on that one. Chapman was good. He caught one high. Front and square's where you have to be when the 2 big men are flying. And Chapman was. Now he kicks to the square. Great. Mooney used his body. He's a strong man. And has been able to mark and can line up for the first goal for the Cats since the 28-minute mark of the first quarter. This is his first touch. And he just out-bustled McGregor on that occasion.
more importantly, though, Ed, he had front position. It looked like it was a side-on mark, just held him out with one arm and took it in the other, but he actually had front position. McGregor had nowhere to go. Tangled up his own arms, so couldn't spoil.
Gone back a long way here, Cameron Mooney, so he's just getting his composure into a bit of stride, and he kicks the goal. Badly netted by the Cats, and they're back in it. They trail by 8 points.
Chartered Accountants bring you another great moment. Over the years,
first and second quarters were kicked by the Crows. Geelong get the first goal of the second half. King and Clark. Bounce favours Clark. Another poor bounce. Bickley high towards half forward. Another good punch by Harley. Riccardi threads the handball through to Corey. Pushed on the kick. Coming hard at it, Sanderson, but Massey got there first. Smart. They've got the loose man on the wing. Edwards just chips it back into the corridor. Bickley takes the mark for Adelaide. Goes with a high bomb. Perry the target. Harley's with him. Perry got hands to it. Harley came away with it. Slips the handball over the top to Ling. McLeod comes at him. Ling gets the kick away towards Ablett and Mackner, who toes it toward the boundary line, and Mark Bickley, who sees it out of play. Two of Mark Bickley's teammates playing game number 300 this afternoon to become life members. Bickley, this is game 298.
They'll throw in, up goes King, he gets the tap. Chapman, another little possession, was a good one too. To Ling on his left boot, high up and under. Ooh, flying high there was Gardner, but he got right into the back of his opponent. Advantage is paid, up towards Ronnie Burns, who takes the mark. Ronnie made the most of it there, but at the end he could have been justified in a 50-metre penalty. Massey copping it high in the back, you name it.
Well,
Take that back. It was a good act.
Good lead by Rashudo.
Gallagher kicks it there. Ling courageously gets into the hole and takes the mark. Now they've got runners doing.
Yeah, just had no punch on the kick then. It just lobbed up.
Ling's 18th possession goes out to Johnson, who marks on centre wing out of side. And Ronnie's a bit sore from being dragged down in that encounter. Johnson's kick up towards Crane, got to the front, he's taken the mark. Now he is 75 metres out. He gives it a huge roost up to the square. Mooney and McGregor again. Mooney got the front spot. McGregor got the fist on the ball. Here's Adelaide trying to crash through. Gets the handball back. The snap from Lord. My sweet Lord. It's a goal.
They make me feel better sometimes because I look at my book of barcodes and sometimes when I'm feeling adrift in the world.
Second half to the Cats. 2-point ball game and they get it away again. Corey's trickling kick after the knockdown from King. Wobbles it to half forward. Edwards over it, still over it. Got it out to Gallagher. Late inclusion into the team with Tyson Stengline out. Matner. Edwards caught by Ablett. Back to Gallagher. Now Smart. And they work it through the wing to half forward. High kick. Perry and Harley tangle up again. Welsh back to Perry, who bounced to his feet. Kicks inside 50. Rashudo, ball bounced unsightly for him. Scarlett out of trouble and into trouble. Gets it back from Rashudo. Can they get out of trouble here, the Cats? King caught by McLeod. Ball back to Welsh. Tucked into the pocket, goes for goal. But sprays it wide. Out of bounds on the full and on that boundary line. Anthony Mifflin.
Thanks, Dwayne. Just checking Ronnie Burns' right ankle. Seems to have rolled it in a serious way. They've taken boot, sock and taping off and checking it out now in the dugout.
Just got stuck under the body of his opponent on that occasion. Here's Riccardi on defensive 50. A beautiful roost to centre wing. One-on-one. Perry has had a day. There's no doubt about it. He's done it beautifully and has beaten Corey Owens up on that occasion. The kick, as always, is a bit dodgy going forward. Edwards, though, gets to the front and handballs it back. Clark on the boundary line. Inside 50 he goes. Scarlett behind and Harley at the front. They had the numbers to Cats and they got the result they required. Ninth possession coming up for Tom Harley. And the Cats are away down the middle to Ling, who had to go to ground. He can handball off the King. He got it done. Ling to King. Over the top it goes. Rook. Into the forward 50. Oh, beautiful play. Strong mark taken there by McGregor. Got to the front. Learnt from his mistake earlier, Dern.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? And a good pair of hands there. He had support runners out wide, but elects to go across the face now.
Bickley to Goodwin. Called that a few times over their careers. Now Tawney. Through the midfield to Smart. Has some space. Spears the pass. Welsh gets there and marks virtually on 50.
It was a wise head with Smart coming forward then.
Chips it in. Board. Rashudo. Heads down to the contest. Doughty from the pocket. Tucked on the line by Slade. Just got a hand on it. And it's through for a behind.
He's done well there, the boy.
And he'll be happy to hear a compliment from you, Durham.
Oh, no, as long as he's able to get up off that ground on that occasion.
He's got a jumping doom, isn't he?
He's a good kid, actually.
Oh, don't square up with him. He called you an idiot during the week. He claimed that you're an idiot during the week. Did that disappoint you?
Well, I think you need to play more than 8 games before you start swinging off like that.
I suppose given the fact that you have lifted a cup up on 10 occasions, 2 more than he's actually played games, gives you the right of reply there, doesn't it?
He'd want to string a few good ones together first.
5-day and 5-night championships, for those who may not be aware.
Yeah, I think you have, Ed.
King has got the ball on centre wing.
He's bullied him today, Stephen King. He's done everything. He's been very physical in the middle.
That kick had plenty of hang time. Ben Graham, who might aspire one day to be a punter in the American Football League, was underneath it and couldn't mark it. Doughty. At half-back flank. Chips up the line. Clark got the position. Next kick important. Gets the lead from Perry.
Poor kick.
Harley's gone on to Perry now. He fell over at the inopportune time. McLeod, Goodwin, there they are. They're all lining up. Bickley, the old firm to Edwards. Some big names amongst that passage of play. 4 or 5 possessions. Each one hit the spot and probably travelled only 15 metres. But now they can line up. 18th possession from Edwards was an absolute ripper. Welsh got away, took the mark, and will line up for goal.
Oh, that was ordinary by Darren Milburn. Yep. He actually saw that Welsh was already in motion, looking to lead. And watch this. And that is an easy access into space.
He's better than wasn't he?
Yeah, he's better than that, Darren Milburn.
The Welsh has kicked 1 goal. Haven't been too many to this end today so far. Beautiful shot from behind Welsh coming in. He's got onto it. Distance is the only worry now, and he's got all of it. It's a big goal for the Adelaide Crows. They lead by 9.
Goal to Scott Welsh. 36 games for the Kangaroos he played, but back home in South Australia, after starting his career with West Adelaide, did lead the Crows goal kicking in 2000 by kicking 47. Starting to get a few now this season. Kelly in the middle, caught by Clark, who tried to take the ball with him, and will get another ball up. James Kelly voted best first-year player last year, ahead of Gary Ablett. That's how good a season he had last season. Good bounce this time, and Kelly does the ruck work. Tries to slam it down the ling. Well played by Goodwin. Caught is Sanderson by Doughty. Got the handball out. On attacking 50, the Cats, Magna. In the cat sandwich, can't break free. We'll get another bounce from umpire Hayden Kennedy. Crows more inside 50s this quarter.
Be a tough takeaway here. A lot of bodies around it.
Cat sandwich, is that a dim sum?
Good from half back towards half forward. Perry.
Geez, hands are
good. Strong mark.
He's a bit shy. I think he might have jackknifed himself there.
Perry to McLeod. McLeod now kicks it inside 50. Out they come again, and he's got it, Welsh. Well, he could be the difference at the moment, this boy.
Well, they did a quick change there. Milburn came off him. That's the mark to Perry. Will Slade went back, and Will never read it from the goal square. And I mean, it's a good lead out to the opposite side there, away from the kicker almost, at right angles to the kicker.
Perry has had 9 marks for the day. Welsh, that was his 5th. He's kicked 2 goals, 1. 9 points the difference. The Cats really needed to get the next one. But a big kick at goal for Welsh. He puts it up in the air, it stays up for a long time, but he has measured it absolutely beautifully, and he's got his 3rd goal.
Mannix, Adelaide's best prices on...
Longer of the 2 teams again in this 3rd term. Cats, if you've just joined us, had a goalless 2nd term. From the ball up, Bickley. Free kick, throw. Umpire saw it, free kick for the Cats. We'll go to Joel Coring. Geelong's first pick in the 99 draft, 8th overall, and, well, that wasn't a throw. Corey, inside 50, Graham comes hard, crunches Bassett and takes the mark. Bassett may have touched it first, but it was in the process of marking it for Graham, and he is a very, very sore body.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, and he's got a right to say that was touched.
Well done by Benny Graham. Kept the eyes on the pill all the way through it. This is, what, 35 metres out? It's like a 10-metre kick for other people.
And he goes for the goal. And the ex-captain drives it through.
Some people see me as debonair.
The Adelaide Crows on 2 occasions there. They were unlucky to concede a throw in the centre of the ground, and the umpires want to get onto the throw and throw the ball up because they haven't been able to get it straight for about the last 15 minutes. And then Bassett was very unlucky not to be adjudicated to have the first touch on the ball. In the meantime, the Crows can make up for it themselves. Don't have to worry about the umpires. They've got it in their forward 50. Out comes Welsh again. Crashes through, gets to the pack and locks it up, and that's a good one. We'll have a bounce.
He's been good value for them, Scotty Welsh, hasn't he? First game for the year. He called it before. It was his first goal in the first half of this game. But he's also had Slade moved away from him now. Just showed a bit too much ability or a bit too much know-how for the young kid out of the goal square.
Goodwin tried to squeeze the kick out. Corey over the top. Goodwin again in hard. Locks it up.
Have a look at this as we pull away it. See, the Crows have 1, 2, 3 men this side of the pack. Geelong are flooding with numbers around the ball, but the Crows, see, they're ringing the pack there. If there's a quick snap kick forward as Hayden just decides to gobble up a bit of time and tell the boys they're being naughty, it's going to come back in and go over their heads.
Yeah, it'll be a quick feedback here from the bounce. In they go. They tap it to that side of the pack as Dermot called. Gee, strong bodies again. 75th stoppage, mate. That's 76 now. Ronnie Burns.
Cutting the scrapping right off now.
Yeah, so that ankle. He has had ankle problems too, hasn't he, Dwayne? Chronic ankle problems.
That looks like fresh strapping that he doesn't like, so he's taking it off and might have another crack at it.
McLeod has got the double tackle applied. Anthony Mitten is the man on the spot.
Got it right there, Dwayne. That's exactly what happened. They've just re-strapped the ankle and a bit too tight for him, so they're trying it again.
Bigland's coming back on after he was crunched early as well. You know, Bassett's probably got a jumper full of sore ribs at the moment as McLeod kicks to the goal square. Milburn high and a big, strong, positive punch is a good one out to the defensive 50. Harley gets there first. Should have gone with the first handball maybe. There's no one there to take it though. Back to Milburn. Now they're back inside 50. It comes to Ling. Ling looks up. Gets the handball off to Sanderson. There's no one coming. That is gone. Dropped the ball. Umpires paid the advantage. It spills out eventually to Welsh. Coming up now for goal number 4. And Welsh has hit the post from point-blank range.
He's copped one on the way through here.
So the Crows are going down left, right and centre, but they still lead.
And he just drops this ball.
Yeah.
That's a free kick. He took evasive action to try and miss the tackle.
Should have been a free kick. Get that close, there's no advantage. Just go back and kick the goal. The Welsh still in big trouble there as the Cats bring the ball out of the fence.
From the kick-in, Skull towards the centre of the ground. Chance here for Kelly. Gets it to Enright. The Cats are away to Chapman. About to put them inside 50. Gets the Shepherd from Ablett. He might go all the way. He can kick it towards goal. He goes to the pass. And Lord's got it 20 metres out.
Welsh is still on his haunches in the goal square and in a lot of trouble.
Well, we've caught it on film. We'll get a look at it in a second. Let's have a look at it after he kicks here.
Milburn. Whoa. Whack.
Aaron Lord. Big kick for the Cats. He hits the post.
I was about to say, this one is not through with Aaron. If he turned his back away from goal and snapped over his shoulder from a set shot, you'd back him 99 times out of 100.
Welsh has gone behind play, boys. He's coming off. And he's in big trouble.
That's got to be rib cage.
Yeah, absolutely. The rib tickler he got was more than a tickle. As the ball comes out, Smart at the back. We go to Anthony in a moment. I think that's just about the full complement on the bench in trouble. As Sanderson comes off for his indiscretion and Spriggs comes on. Let's have a look at this again. Yeah, he's got punched in the ribs.
You are open as you kick. You can't tense and kick at the same time, Dermot, can you?
And even for that spot right just where he got hit, there is no protection whatsoever. There's no muscle, no nothing. And that's where the ribs are the smallest, so it could easily have cracked the rib there, or the thinnest at least. Ball on forward 50.
He did look a little bit better at best, just as he took his last paces going over the boundary, but
yeah, don't look too close down.
He's regressed.
Oh. A good boxing or karate instructor, Derm, will tell you that's the place to go if you're in trouble. The body shot. King knocks it forward. Dowdy thrown to the ground. Away they go. Bassett, who's pretty sore as well after getting Graham's knee right through him. Biglands is back on the ground.
Let's have a look at this again. And this is a watch for Milburn, right arm.
Kick, it's late, and it's bang.
Yeah, but he's got the running motion in behind him. I tell you what, it did some damage.
Ball back into play. Cats inside 50. They might be able to do some more damage to this Adelaide Crows lead, but they can't break free with the ball, and we'll get another ball up.
A couple of minutes ago when Stephen King went to accept the ball just inside centre square, and Rhett Biglands ran at him, and I thought, oh, he's going to get even up here. Let's go down to the boundary line with Anthony Mitten.
Yeah, trouble for Welsh. They're checking his ribs. That leaves just Mark Bickley, the fit man, on the bench, and Biglands playing out there with sore ribs as well.
Edwards high, and Enright takes the mark for the Cats. Dory Enright from Kimber, which gave us the Wakeland brothers as well. Biggest export before these three was Dust from Kimber. They've given us some good footballers lately. Bassett.
Well, there's a white line.
Who did he play for? Dust.
Bassett, who's a little sore, but still in this on-field 18. They're running out of players. He gets it back again from Doughty towards the outer side.
See, that was poor.
McLeod goes off the turf, but not successfully. Enright gets caught. Chance for Rook and the Cats. The half forward have got the numbers off the back of the pack. Can they get a handball from Graham? Well played by Smart. He's got 3 to beat. Might beat them all. Ablett Jr. threads it through to Kelly. He's crunched. Ablett again. Now Spriggs towards full forward, but it's way wide.
Graham was on.
There's a free kick in the goal square. It'll go the Cats' way.
A bit of luck there as King comes off, and coming back on is Chambers for Geelong. I was watching Graham leading forward, and Spriggs just didn't see him with his eyes at all there, Dermot.
No.
Aaron Lord. He's got 2. And the Cats a chance.
The rules have changed.
Well, welcome back to Skilled Stadium for the Adelaide fans. They might not love me in Adelaide, but gee, I'm with you here. That is the hold, according to the umpire. That was it. That's the free kick. Well, the last 2 goals have been absolute gifts.
Better holding fly speed and hairspray.
Yeah, well, in a day where there's blokes getting crunched left, right and centre, there's been ribs getting belted left, right and centre, there's hard hits all around the ground. For that to be a free kick and a goal is an absolute disgrace. Ball up, Adelaide fans, I'm with you. You should be rightly throwing stuff at the television at the moment. I say that because it's your television. Perry takes the mark.
This bloke is playing a beauty. This is just about his... He hasn't kicked as many goals as I've seen on other occasions, but for presenting, running to the ball...
This will be the 11th inside 50. They've only kicked 2 goals, the Crows, this quarter. Geelong about 8 insides for 4. At this end that the Crows are going to, it's 3-5 to 11-10 the other end. So they've got the scoring in the last quarter.
Chapman, where Angels fear to tread, front of the pack. The Cats need players to do that. To Milburn, now to Harley, and because of Chapman's determination, they get it from defence to Ablett. Takes the mark on the wing. Cats just 3 points from the Crows. High kick from Ablett towards half forward. Mooney, 1-on-1. Smart waits for the crumb. Edged out by Graham in the back, the umpire said. Maybe an evener upper. Crows free kick at half back, but this game has gone up a gear. Smart made it obvious. Gallagher runs the half-back line and chips wide. Nice pass. Bassett. Half-back flank for the Crows. 54 to 51 inside 3 minutes to three-quarter time.
So Bassett has the ball at half-back flank. No one moving at all, so he decides to just kick it high up in the air and hope for the best. Looking for Perry, who's a pretty good option. Harley was good over the top. Spriggs at ground level to the boundary line. Throw in. So the Crows have got the scoring end. It's not breezy by any stretch of the imagination. It just seems that the Reg Hickey stand or Barwon end of at the Skilled Stadium has been the one today.
I think it probably, as it goes almost straight away from us where we sit at the moment, Ed, but it might favour just ever so slightly the Hickey stand end.
It's picking up a bit now as Kelly runs. He can go all the way here, Kelly. From 75, he goes to the goal square. Up they go. Coming out there was Lord, couldn't hold the mark. He get his hands up high enough and the ball goes over line of bounds.
He's competent too. He's got good strong hands, Aaron Lord. He doesn't jump very high and he doesn't take many over his head, but he's a very knowledgeable forward player once he can find a little bit of space, a little bit of width to work with. And he's dangerous from this situation.
Big play this one with just under 2 minutes left in it. Bigland's got the tap, was great to McGregor. McGregor kicks outside the 50. The Cats have got the numbers, but the Crows have got the ball. Now's a chance. Spills nicely. Gallagher on the left boot wants the boundary line and will find it. And we'll have a throw in with a minute 42 left on the clock in this third term. Adelaide hanging on to a 3-point lead. Midfield disposals, the Crows are dominating. 50 more touches than Geelong, 140 to 90.
Gary Ayres on screen. Coached here for a number of years. Back into play, Biglands. Now, free kick ball. He took it out of the air, was tackled. That's the new rule.
Do you reckon he was tackled, though?
Good point. Paul Chambers, the free. Wobbles it to half forward. Mooney comes hard. Slaps it down. Spriggs got the handball out there. A chance here, the Cats. Slade around the body towards full forward. John Cock handballs it backward. Will they get away with it from defence? Wobbly ball, and it's out of play in front of Gallagher. Let's go down to Anthony Mithen.
Welsh still a very sore boy sitting in the dugout, and Ronnie Burns, they've given up strapping the ankle, icing now, so
he's gone.
Doubtless we'll see him for the rest of the day.
You're right, Dermot. Bit trigger happy, that umpire.
Yeah, he didn't actually lay a tackle on him.
Ball back into play. Bigland slaps down, but it's taken away from defence by Goodwin. Towards the wing, Perry in good position. Gee, he read that brilliantly. the Cats defenders tend to be taught to look at the player and feel the player and not go for the ball first, and Harley was beaten there. Goodwin into trouble. Edwards takes the mark at half forward.
Dizzy running around in circles in Goodwin. There's a chance left for the Crows with 45 seconds on the clock. As Tawney brings it out wide, they've got runners left, right and centre. Gallagher gets it over the top. This is Matner. There's a pretty good kick. He gets to 50. Here's a thumping kick. It's offline though, completely offline, out of bounds on the full.
He's very quick, Matner. Now there's room for Rashudo. The first kicker should have looked up at him.
All right, well the Cats have got it. 3 points the difference, 30 seconds. They start to move now to the wing position. Ablett's there. Up they go from behind. Crows have got the numbers again. Here's a chance now. It's Bills for Slade. Caught from behind was Rook. Was he ridden into the ground? Yes, he was, says the umpire. Time might be the enemy here. 15 seconds. They have to go long, Ants. Have a look at this. Out wide is Spriggs. He can run on the open goal with 10 seconds left and kicks a point. Well, would have put the Cats in front. Now it's a 2-point ball game, and that should be it for the quarter. Bomber Thompson says, right, let's go down, as the kick comes out to John Cock, and the siren will go. And we're in for an absolute beauty here at Skilled Stadium. 2 points the difference.
Cameron Lynn coming off the bench today. Big Rhett Biglands, is he playing with broken ribs? He's going to have to go the full distance anyway. They are under the pump here, under the charge of the Geelong Cats here. It's Adelaide by 2 points, 8-6-54, leading the Cats.
So Welsh and Rashudo go down to the goal square for the Adelaide Crows.
He was dangerous, Ronnie, too. He really looked like he wanted to play footy today.
2 points the difference here at Skilled Stadium. Adelaide 8-6-54, 14 scoring shots to 17, but the Crows still hang on to a 2-point lead. Geelong have not won a game this season after trailing at three-quarter time as we start the final term.
Update flyer for the opening bounce of this final term, and Corey tries to get the takeaway, but the opposite 11, Doughty, threads the handball through to Bickley to McLeod, and the Ferrari is away. He burns them all off. A couple of bounces. He goes long towards the goal square. Offline, totally behind.
If you look at that again, Dwayne, he could have actually taken another one and gone inside 50. I think he just assumed more pressure would have been on him because he held the ball so long. There's the spread of players.
The kick out to Slade, marks a defensive 40 for the Cats. Slade, Harley, just the 15. They've been red hot on that this weekend, the umpires too, for some reason. Oh boy, just came off, Enright. Kicks up towards half forward, Graham taps it back, looking for Spriggs. He picks it up, does it well. He's got plenty on. He's got Gary Ablett at centre half forward. That's where he goes. Was cut off on the way, though, by Chapman. Ablett runs forward, so too does Slade. He ignores them both, and he kicks to the pocket, looking for Riccardi. It was the wrong option. And John Cock, who's taken the mark.
From the back pocket, looks wide. Mark taken by Massey. 43 games for Carlton. Massey, the only Victorian in this Adelaide Crows lineup. Gives to John Cock. Doughty, back to John Cock, runs into trouble, out of trouble to Gallagher. He has some space at half-back flank, goes toward the wing. Hart, ball up away from him by Enright. McGregor slips, got the kick away, kept the ball alive, close to the boundary, and Johnson takes it out of play.
Now, if you ever look at that one, Ben Hart, when he put the hand up there for the incoming ball, he actually, like a ruckman, palms that to McGregor in front of him. Clever work there. There's the bench, Gardner, King, Mooney, and Joel Corey on the bench.
Perhaps saving him. Well, Corey, they've got the kick away, so he's obviously not on the bench.
On now.
Towards McLeod, handballed. And the ball out of play. Just came on, Andrew McLeod, who almost played for Fremantle, but
Sanderson's on the bench.
McLeod, when he went over and had a chat to Gerard Neesham, the Fremantle coach, didn't like the way he was spoken to, so decided he and his father that he wouldn't go there. He nearly went to Collingwood, actually.
They tried very hard, but the Crows got him. Here's a chance. for Ablett. Look at that, dancing around. Fred Astaire, eat your heart out. Then the kick is a beauty up to the forward 50, off hands. Lord's there, needs to put his body over it. Here's Graham, he's onto his left foot, got it over to Chapman, got it out to Lord. Lord, my Lord, he kicks the goal. 3. Shooting it.
They make me feel better sometimes because I look at my book of barcodes and sometimes when I'm feeling like adrift in the world and I don't really know my place or something's going wrong, I can look at the barcodes and I can think there's something that knows certainly what it's meant to do. It has one task and it gets that information across. It's really beautiful in a way. They're quite the most delightful things. They give me great comfort, I suppose, with their single mission in life.
Cats in front for the first time since the 10-minute mark of the second term. Ball up in the middle. Bickley somehow got a kick away to half forward. A brilliant mark taken at half forward by Goodwin.
And this is the Rashudo or Welsh lead. They'll both lead, whereas in the first quarter it was a long bomb to the square.
He goes with the long bomb to the square. Welsh getting back. Scarlett has had the least goals kicked on him of any fullback in the competition this year. Matthew Scarlett, but said something given Geelong's ladder position. Corey, a couple of bounces, kicks wide, and the umpire says too wide. It'll be a free kick for the Crows.
Kelly was on too, all he had to do was hit him. And it's turned over to the most dangerous man on the ground, McLeod. Picks up to his skipper, punched away again by Scarlett. Gallagher thrown to the ground by Kelly, whose tackling has been a feature. Great evasive skills by Ablett. That's a high up and under and out in the full. So a free kick again to the Adelaide Crows. It'll go to Gallagher. Yeah, he was 50 coming right up there.
Oh, he ran away from the mark, defensive side, holding the ball.
So Gallagher at half forward flank. Kicks inside 50. Clark's gone up to the forward line as well. It's punched over the line and out of bounds for a throw-in. 3 points to different. Geelong in front. 16 3/4 left in the game. And as I said, Kelly has been great with his tackling. 6 tackles today, a game high.
Bomber Thompson.
Space out the back here.
Back into play. Clark took it out of the air. Umpire said ball again.
So he threw it.
They've been hot on that as well this week. And coming away from fullback Cameron Ling. Takes a couple of bounces, just chips it wide. And the mark taken. Or did he play on?
Yes, he did.
Slade did play on. Umpire caught him. And close to the boundary line, it's out of play.
You can forgive the boy there. I mean, it is, as we said, only his 9th game. And he's obviously doesn't realise the tempo of league footy. If you just give him a side on you like that. But I mean, he'll pick that up as he goes along.
A beautiful kick from Ling, because no one presented themselves until Slade finally got across. Ling again in there. We'll have another bounce. But Cameron Ling's been a very good play over. Rashudo comes off and Big Ones comes on. So we'll get Anthony Mitten to have a look to see if he's injured. 23 possessions for Ling so far. Dangerous from Corey, the 3rd man up. Over the top of the ball. That was dangerous as well. We'll have another bounce. So the Crows have been devastated by injury throughout the afternoon.
I reckon they might be saving Rashudo, because he's only kicked, what, the one, I think, at full forward. Just for the last 15-minute tilt on the ball, just to power it.
Corey's kick was smothered over the line and out of bounds for another throw-in. So it's tight in the clinches here at the moment at Skilled Stadium, with Geelong holding sway by 3 points.
No one's gone to him, Mytho. That is Mark Rashudo, as Gary Ayres looks on. Yeah, no medical assistance needed at all.
Bickley gets the kick out. The Crows have had a hard month with tight games. They had the fight from behind last week. Tough game against Brisbane and then the nail-biter against Collingwood. Ball up again. They're going to have to dig deep. At half-forward flank, it's Clark up against Big Paul Chambers.
McLeod sits 15 metres off the back of this pack to the left, ready to just sweep through if it falls free.
Corey got the little toe poke on the ball. It comes out to that man, McLeod. He got past the tackle, then went over. Spriggs went in hard. Tawny's thrown to the ground. Umpire had another bounce. This is good stuff, and the Cats fans are appreciative of the efforts of their men. The boys in the hoops have lifted.
Good tackling, isn't it? I mean, there is... He would probably, in all consideration, be the hardest bloke to tackle in the league.
And he leads their tackle count as well this year. Adelaide Spriggs didn't play a game last year after injuring a knee on the beach at Lawn. And he is starting to inspire. Handball over the head, unbelievable. McGregor wide. Bickley drops the mark. An uncharacteristic mistake from Mark Bickley. Another great tackle from Slade. And the Cats fans on their feet at the moment. They haven't seen this from their team for a while. To Spriggs. Back again to Ling. From half-back. No one to go to. Gives it back to Spriggs. Can he run through the midfield? He can. Has some toe. Has a bounce. Wobbles the kick. Chambers and Clark. No one can grab it. Massey. Tawney. Slips it towards half-forward. Slade. Drops the mark. Goes back. Gets it. Back towards Ling. Caught. Goes towards the boundary line. How will the umpire adjudicate? He said it was okay.
Well done. The problem for Clark Spriggs there, boys, it looked like an ordinary kick, but all the Geelong forwards are up in the goal square. None of them led forward to him. Now, he can't kick the ball 75 metres on the run.
Yeah, they sat back, didn't they? And the other thing was the rest of the midfielders run away from him. There's nobody coming at him, as you call.
Corey was a good smother, but it's ricocheted to Hart. Hart now. He can kick the ball. Up it goes. Bigwins is the man at the back. Milburn was lucky. It spilled his way. Close to the boundary line. Flicks it back to Harley. Harley over the top. Now the Cats have got some numbers out here. Scarlett, look out. Got the kick away. Goodwin. Got the bounce. Looks up. There's a wrestle on behind play. Scarlett was in amongst it with Perry. Perry's the first to recover. He gets it, but Scarlett body slams him into the ground. It spills to Gary Ablett. It comes out to Ling. Ling now comes wide again. There was no one presenting the game, damn it. What have they got to do? They can't get it up. Big, and they're all camped down in the goal square. Come up the ground.
They are. Benny Graham just stays in the middle of the ground here. Let's have a look at this. Did he body slam him face first? Is that a free date?
No, he's right.
Yeah, that's all right. They have copped the rough end of the political today, the Adelaide Crows.
They certainly have.
Back on.
Ball back into play. Goodwin, slung, Clark, depth deflection. Tawney, but Spriggs. It's hot in the middle, and Spriggs likes it. To Corey, to Ling. Who lingers longest. Kicks toward half-forward. The target, Rourke towards Lord. Over his head, McCarthy. Lord gets a free.
Oh, he's drawn that one. Aaron was never going to glove that. He was never going to mark that above his head, but this is a long way from being through.
Lord has 3. I think he's kicked the last 2 for the Cats, Aaron Lord.
Yeah, last 2 for the game. 3 goals, 2 free kicks, by the way, boys, just for the Adelaide people. You're right, 19 to 11.
He chips to Riccardi, who takes the mark.
19-11?
Yep.
But the nature of them, too. Not only have they almost doubled them.
And a few that haven't been paid are the other killers.
Yeah, but they're still out there. You play with whatever you're given.
Riccardi is the Cats' leading goal kicker on the field this year. Kent Kingsley, who led their goal kicking last year, is not playing.
I think he's only got 19, Kent Kingsley, for the year.
Kent Kingsley's leading their goal kicking this year and not playing either. Didn't get picked. And Riccardi sprays it across the face. Normally better than that, only a behind.
Yeah, bad shot, that one. So, the Crows reload.
They are tied, the Crows. Their midfield is a bit flat.
It's been a pretty long month for them. It's been a hard campaign. And the trip over here and down to Geelong today as well. Here's Goodwin now. He never stops trying. Puts it up. Perry presents. Oh, he goes a mile. Good play by Harley at the back. Gets it back to Ling, who's playing as a quarterback across half-back. Each time the ball comes up, this time in this quarter, he's been very good. Over the line and out of bounds. Throw in. Gary Ablett flies the tackle. And some gratuitous advice coming from...
I don't know what that's about.
A man from the Hard Rock Cafe. 8th tackle for Gary Ablett today. He's been hard in. He's in there again, and he's hard at it as well. So too Goodwin. They lock it up. We've got 11 and a half minutes of absolute pressure football coming up.
I don't know if he's got any teeth, that bloke, either.
Emphasis on the hard or the rock?
Attendance 19,608.
He might have been eating a few hard rocks.
The rain has kept a few away, but those are here that are here. Happy they came. Ball up, and we'll get another one. Umpire Brett Roseberry will have to sort it all out again.
Will Slade sits off the back of this pack, about 10 metres defensive side, so if they can feed it back to him, he sneaks into within about 5 metres now.
King and Clark, who won it down to Bickley. Kick half smothered. Tawney And Corey, Tawney breaks free. Well played. Sold the dummy. They're coming at him. Goes to Doughty by hand. From the wing. Spearing ball. Smart's on the move. Gets there.
Great kick.
Ridden a little by Enright. Umpire said it was okay. Is he within range? Nigel Smart. 34-year-old leg. About to swing through the ball from just outside 50. He lines up this to put the Crows back in front. Long drop punt off the boot. That's a gem. Crows have the lead.
If you're frustrated with dial-up internet, switch to iPrimus Broadband and enjoy an always-on, frustration-free internet connection.
So Gary Ayres looks at the scoreboard and sees that his team, the Adelaide Crows, are back in front by 2 points. Doughty and Smart combining for a wonderful goal. Out of the centre, big centre break. Clark is there, he knocks it forward. Kelly for the Cats, was dispossessed by his teammate Slade almost. Gallagher high up and under, didn't go anywhere, just got the 15. The umpires paid the mark to Corey.
Helped to watch the ball then.
But Corey has it. No one moving up in the Geelong forward line. Now Graham presents himself. Corey kicks it in his direction. Graham from behind gets a little bit of a shove. It spills off the hands of the pack. Diving in hard was on that occasion Rook. Kelly in there again. He's grabbed it. Locked up, will have a bounce pretty much in the centre of the ground.
Looks like Cameron Ling has gone to pick up Andy McLeod. No, Rook is going with him now.
Clark and King do the ruck. Beautiful tap again by Clark. Slade went, Corey went to ground, just flicked it out. Danger. Here comes Ablett though. He's grabbed high and he'll get the free kick. So Gary Ablett Jr. has certainly been a top player this afternoon, acknowledged by Gary Ayres by having Hart played on him. His kick forward though, Mooney comes out, but going back with courage was Tawney, who's had a pretty good last quarter.
And Ablett's man, he does concede a bit of space. Oh, well, there you go, Benny Hart. Does concede a bit of space, but he is a ball player, so he does go to the footy and play footy rather than do all the hardcore things.
Doughty on to Doughty, who couldn't half volley it, and the umpire will sort it out for the bounce on the wing. Yes. Good decision from the umpire. Howley bouncing. Good bounce. Clark gets front spot. Wrestles King away from it. Wobbles it towards half forward. Harley came out hard. Ball to the back of the pack. Johnson, the race on. Johnson, Goodwin. Right in the middle does Goodwin. He gets the free kick, David Johnson. Will take it at half back. The brother of Essendon's mark. Chips it over the top. Danger here. Can Rook get back on it? Might be a turnover. Bigland's toe pokes it towards the pocket. Can he keep it alive? He can't. And we'll get forward pocket for the Adelaide Crows. 8 minutes plus a little bit of time on remaining. And it's the Crows by 2 points.
I think he could have left that kick in the backyard. And he used to kick the kick around the clothesline with his brother. That was a shocker.
He'll be looking for McLeod here.
And he does too. Clark hits it to McLeod, who opens it up for Welsh, who's grabbed by Scarlett. Edwards is in there. All the big names are there for the Crows. It spills out to Bickley. Bickley has a flying shot. It bounces through for a point. And the margin now 3 points at Skilled Stadium. 7 3/4 minutes left on the clock. Milburn from full back brings it out. Enright.
That was silly. Scotty Welsh and Rhett Biglins both stood on the mark of the kick in there, which meant there was one less in the zone. Easy spot up in Milburn.
Both of them have got a rib full of a jumper full of broken ribs.
Yeah.
They even want to run too hard.
Yeah, one good rib cage out of the two of them.
Ablett kicks. Rook. McLeod. Geez, good, he gets the hands out. Over the line, out of bounds. Throw in. Adelaide 9-8-62, 17 scoring shots, 19 to Geelong, 8-11-59. They've been in front for the last 4 minutes, the Adelaide Crows. From the throw-in, Tawney, again in this last quarter. Gets the flick out. Kelly keeps his feet. Then got the kick away. And Dowdy was, no, it was Massey who was good. He was in front. It was always going to be a quick kick out of that pack, and he read it the best.
High kick, looking for the run from McGregor. Ball in front of him. Just overread it a little with the pass, and Sanderson comes up to Graham. The loose man on the wing is Chapman on the rebound.
Oh, it's a
bad
shocker.
kick to Chapman, and a good piece of determination from Massey. Punched it across the boundary line. Will get a ball in on the wing. Graham had Chapman free, couldn't hit him.
King, with all that time spent on the bench late in the third quarter and came on early this quarter, it just looks like Clark is moving around the ground a little bit better than him at the moment.
Corey out of the air. Ablett just couldn't quite. Corey got one a little high. Umpire saw it. Free kick to the Cats on the wing. But it's at half forward where they've been breaking down.
You'd almost, if this was a boxing match, you'd say the hometowners getting the favourable decision here with the free kicks.
22-11.
Stats back you up to
22-11.
Spearing past the half forward. Cam Mooney comes hard but knocks it down to Massey. McGregor hacks it toward the wing. McLeod's got the fly. Brilliant mark by Andrew McLeod. He read that magnificently over the top to Edwards with some poise. Wobbles it towards half forward. The race on. Ball slapped towards the boundary line. Can Welsh keep it alive? Enright does in the end. Hands to Sanderson. Has the short part option. It's Lee over the top of him. Clark with the punch down. Bickley threads the handball through. Edwards, he might go for the goal. Runs inside 50. Sells the dummy. Kicks toward goal across the face. It's a behind.
He looked like he was going to run and score a try there in the end. He got round everyone, couldn't kick it.
And reminded me of Andrew Hughes then.
It was very tired when Busey left it behind in the pocket and got it, kicked the goal of the year. But some tired kicks out of the fence. Graham and one of the other ones there for Geelong coming out put Ling under enormous pressure. There were two loose Geelong players, and both kicks went over the head.
Well, the instinct wasn't there first up it. They took probably 1.5 seconds too long to determine which boy the kick was going to go to, and that's an eternity in league footy.
4 points of difference, so a kick in it. Last 5.5 minutes of play. Spriggs gets loose. He gives it over to Kelly, who shows the ball, and then a lot of airtime with the handball. Gone. That's dropping the ball. Play on now. Gallagher can ice this game. Can he? He kicks the goal to make it very tough for the Cats from here. Crows go to a 10-point lead.
There's a basic law of nature which says the mightiest will lead. Monaro, game over.
Late inclusion for Tyson Stingline. James Gallagher.
What's the tackle here from Bickley, boys?
Pins the right arm and will not let it go. That is super.
Pan Gallagher, he thought he was coming over just to watch a game of football. Kicks the goal but might win one.
7-man forward line for the Cats, left-hand side of screen.
10 points, the lead, not insurmountable. Slade through traffic, gets the handball to Spriggs, threads it wide, looking for Slade again. Stolen from him by Tawney, over it. Can he get the handball up? Tackled back again by Slade. Clark. Corralled by a couple of Cats, goes back to Gallagher. Slips the pass wide, Doughty, boundary line. Doughty not happy. Ball out of play. Half forward flank for the Cats. There he is. And the Cats fans seen their team in the lead a couple of times. And it's now the Crows by 10 points. Back into play. Clark with the slap down. Tawney to McLeod. Who else would you want to go to in this situation? Now Bickley, well maybe him. Over the top of the handball, they've worked it well. Gallagher to Goodwin, another player with experience and poise. Inside 50, ball knocked down, good punch. Harley, high up and under kick. They need a mark. Under it, Corey couldn't bring the mark down. Now he's over it and in trouble. The umpire will bounce.
Just check with Anthony Mithen at any stage. Andy McLeod running hot, 7 disposals. At any stage, has anyone gone to Mark Rashudo, who is still on the bench when we've got 4 and a bit minutes left?
No, just stretching his right hamstring. That's all he's been doing for the last 10, 15 minutes.
That might be the reason. Old hamstring, if it's gone, it's gone.
Yep,
There's not
there
much
he
you can do
is.
about it.
You would want him out there.
No doubt if he was right, he would be. Right, ball up. The Cats have got plenty of work to do now. They have to kick 2 goals to win this game. And we have got 3 minutes and 51 seconds on the clock. They've only been able to kick 2 goals for the quarter. Oh, sorry, 1 goal for the quarter to the Crows 2.
Look at that grin. He knows what he's doing here. He knows exactly what he wants.
Corny to Bickley has been
Out the back.
fantastic again. Broke the tackle, and there he goes. He
Out
knew
the back.
exactly what he was doing.
That's
From
right.
55, he thumps it to the square. The big pack flies. Oh! Big Works takes a screamer and has given a bit back to Scarlett.
Oh, he split the pack. Look, the Geelong boys are still... He's got the hand in the back on...
Oh, that was just too good.
Milburn. Yeah,
Too good.
he was too good, and he just...
He
also
pushed
gives
Milburn
it-
underneath it, and he gave Scarlett plenty on the way through.
It's not through yet, though. He's not the world's best kid.
Well,
he's not bad on the run for a big fellow.
You'd have to fall over to miss it from here, Derm.
Some have fallen over.
Plenty have. He has it, though. He puts it through, and the Crows look like they're home at Skilled Stadium. A great win.
If you're frustrated with dial-up internet, switch to iPrimus Broadband and enjoy an always-on, frustration-free internet connection.
Brett Biglands, who said in a Football Record interview that his biggest hate in football is waiting for the ad breaks to be over so he can go on another contest. Ball up in the middle. He won't mind waiting at the moment because he put the icing on the cake for the Crows with a couple of minutes remaining. Chapman to Ling. Caught. Tawney. Through traffic, knocked it over to Goodwin. He was caught. And we'll get another bounce. Cameron Ling showing the anger and the anguish in Gary Ayres.
Normandy in front with the binoculars up. We might get a shot of that straight after the
Yes, I think
siren,
we
I'd say.
better see if both have got their hands in their pockets at the end of it. The umpire will bounce.
And Gary Ayres had his hands in his pocket after it last year, didn't he?
To the tune of 5 big ones.
They'd be a disappointed crowd here. The rain's starting to fall at Skilled Stadium, which
Just
if
to
it
rub
wasn't
it in.
impossible before, it's going to make it impossible now for the Cats to come back, and the crowd here, as they're filing out, will get
We're just
poured on.
doing that from
on the
Nippo down
departure.
there. Oh, let's hope Nippo hasn't brought his raincoat.
The Crows have been good from the outer side. Short pass by Spriggs to Harley. They haven't given up completely, the Cats. Inside 50, but John Cock gets back and takes the mark in defence.
Why are they persisting, the Cats, being a kick and a half
Away
from the when the ball's coming forward?
Well, Ed, they're the least scoring team in the comp, so there is problems in their forward line, whether it's just an inability to be instinctive and read the incoming ball, but they haven't done it all year.
Spriggs again over the top of the ball, and another bounce on centre wing.
What are you doing during the week, Dermot? Centre-half forward coach would be handy.
Benny Graham, he does run to it all right, but he's just seized up in the second half here today. He did take that big plunk out at centre-half forward in the third quarter, but that was about the last time he had a full-blooded attack on it.
Bickley again in the pressure situation. The thump is on. Goodwin. Well, this is John Cock. John Cock now from 50, just to completely finish the game off, but he kicks the point. He's a good player too, John Cock. And this has been a great effort for the Crows because they've, as we said, they've been under the hammer for a month now. A lot of injuries, and to come down here today and eke out this victory is a good one. These are the satisfying ones, aren't they?
Certainly is. It will be for them. John Cock played every game in his debut season. Didn't take him long to make an impact. High kick from fullback Perry, who's had a great afternoon. Spilled it. McLeod. Now Smart. Started on the bench. Played up forward after coming on, and he hacks it inside 50, but Enright takes the mark in the back pocket for the Caps. From one back pocket to the other, Milburn just playing outside now. The Crows have this wrapped up. Spearing ball, and Gardner dives and takes the chest mark in front of Massey.
Well, and bad news, Gary Ablett being carried off by two trainers on this side of the ground. Not looking too good at all. Ball on the outer side of the ground as Gary Ablett comes to the bench. Get a shot of that in a moment for you, but he didn't look too flash. Ball over the line and out of bounds. Anthony Mitten, what happened?
It seemed to be just cramped, but they are just checking the calf now. It seems to be cramped, no tissue damage at this stage.
Okay, well, I suppose if your name's Gary Ablett, you get two trainers to take you off if you've got the cramp. To the right of screen, it's been 15 goals, 15. To the left of screen, 4 goals, 6. And it's not been blowing a gale by any stretch of the imagination. Ball over the line and out of bounds as we enter the last 30 seconds of play. It's been a good game, a fair contest here today. The Cats hit the front at the 3-minute mark of the final term when Lord snapped the goal. But the next 3 goals have all been Crows. At the 13-minute mark, Smart got the lead back for the Crows. Gallagher and then Biglands scored the 2 goals to make sure the 4 points are going back to South Australia. Gary has already left. He didn't want to say goodbye to Norm. He's gone downstairs already.
And Norm's put away the binoculars, pulled out the...
And just to make it a really nice weekend for all those people in Adelaide, all the non-Victorian teams have beaten the Victorian teams this weekend. And they have here today as well at Skilled Stadium. And a fantastic win for the Adelaide Football Club. It's not one for the video highlights. They won't be looking back in a few years at it, but at the end of the year, this might be one that might get them into the top 4. It's a big win today for the Adelaide Crows. Down on personnel, even down on a little bit of spirit coming down here today. They're a bit flat to start with, but at the end of the day, they have got up and done it well by 17 points. Final scores, Geelong 8-11-59, Adelaide 11-10, 76.
Just couldn't keep the heat up there for the full extent of the game there. They looked like they were going to really put the blowtorch on Adelaide there in the last quarter. They hit the front. Aaron Lord started to chip in and make it pretty difficult for the Crows down back. Benny Graham took a good mark in the 3rd quarter, but couldn't cap off. That bloke was superb after half-time once again. It was interesting getting the real... He just grinned at his teammates there in the last few seconds when he popped one up to Biglands. You could just read his mind. He was saying, I know where I want to go this time, and I will get it. And one bloke who did get it today, and he got it in the ribs, and he got it on the scoreboard as well, is Scotty Welsh, and he is with Anthony Mitten.
Yeah, well done, Scotty. First game back for the season, and you managed to kick 3 and sack full of ribs as well.
Yeah, it's a little bit sore. But, yeah, it was good to come back and have a win, especially over in Geelong. It's always hard to win over here, so, yeah, everyone's thrilled.
And it was the thumb you missed with. Just take us through the injury. It's a long time out.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been about 6 weeks with my thumb. I snapped the ligament off my bone, so had to get that repaired. So, yeah, hopefully everything's good now.
Nothing snapped in those rib cage there at any stage, did they?
No, I hope not. I just couldn't breathe.
Now, you've got a big game next week against Hawthorn. You've set yourself up with this last month. You've gutted out a few tough wins and managed to get there. You're out the other side of it now.
Yeah, we've had a few tough games, but, you know, hopefully things go our way now and, you know, looking forward to the couple of weeks.
Just explain to us what happened at 3/4 time there. You weren't quite sure whether you were out on the field. I thought you were going to start with 5 on the bench there for a minute.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion, but everything got sorted out.
Well done, Scotty. Go and enjoy it.
Thanks, Scott.
So Scott Welsh there and the Adelaide Crows. They've got a small band of supporters over watching them this afternoon. Small but vocal.
It's tough to get people to come all the way down the Geelong Road if they come into state, isn't it?
There's a bloke running around out here at the moment.
One out there early.
Crowd's going mad as a bloke runs for the fence and keeps running and keeps running. Well, surely
run, Forrest, run.
He's off. The security guard should say, well, we've done the job. He's off the ground.
Yeah.
In the meantime, he's getting his head slammed up against a wall.
He might give him the Darren Milburn here.
And a few of them are on now.
A couple of others. A couple of other clowns. Now he's going to be boxed in here. He looks a bit like Matty Scarlett. Well, the Crows come off the ground. Chris Massey there. There he is. Oh. Top hat. Now, I don't know what the boy would think. He's got the Matty Scarlett wig on. That's why I thought he looked like him.
Come on, ring the siren so they can all get on. There he is.
He's no short.
He's all right. He's tall.
Yeah.
But see, once again,
Not having screw-in stops has cost him. Yeah, you got to turn up with the correct footwear apparel. Mark Bickley, who was superb today. Scotty Welsh there on the right-hand side of the screen. Matthew Bode just in front. He's injured as well. There's a lot of them injured out there today for the Adelaide Crows. They were brave and they conquered. 11-10-76, a 17-point win over the Geelong Cats. 8-11-59.
How the Red Cross double-crossed the Bali victims.
It's just ridiculous.
I think it's sneaky.
Where the millions we donated ended up.
It just gets worse.
A 60 Minutes investigation tonight.
All I own are the clothes I stand up in. And some sexy aftershave. But I rent all this. Renting makes sense.
The Specialist Dealers Network, your friends for outdoor needs. Chainsaw blowers, ride-on mowers, eliminate those weeds. Trim that hedge, cut that block, high-pressure cleaners too. The Specialist Dealers Network, they'll show the gap to you. They're everywhere, they really care, their backup will exceed. The Specialist Network, your friends for outdoor needs.
So you want to see more of the country, take your family to the great outdoors, and you know that you can with a caravan, and you know where you'll find yours. DBC, Dave Benson Caravans, DBC, a family affair.
Andre. Tanya, the family.
And you'll know you're in good hands with Dave Benson Caravans.
It hasn't been around for long, but it's certainly made an impact. The Classic Timber Furniture Autumn Catalogue. But like all good things, it's coming to an end. This weekend, the Classic Timber Furniture Company's Autumn Catalogue. Beautiful furniture at prices you really can afford.
Tag Heuer is undoubtedly the ultimate sports watch. And Graham's Jewellers is undoubtedly the place to go for Tag Heuer in Adelaide, with an extensive range and the latest styles. Stand out from the crowd with a Tag Heuer watch from Graham's Jewellers.
From the people who brought you the mini scaff comes the maxi scaff. Being lightweight, super strong and easy to assemble, the maxi scaff can be configured for use in nearly any workplace. And the maxi scaff is certified to meet all workplace health requirements. Costing a third less than other scaffolds to buy, you can also hire or lease a maxi scaff and meet your duty of care to provide a safe work environment. The maxi scaff, high, strong, safe and easy.
Oh, my.
There are many ways to break a window, but the only way you want to fix it is with a minimum of fuss. So call My Glazier for a prompt repair and ask them for assistance with your insurance claim. Big windows, little windows, lead light renovation, even your shower screen. If it's broken, make My Glazier your glazier.
Which glazier?
Oh, my.
There's a new show coming to Night Train. Fabulous food and non-stop laughter. Dinner and show packages for groups of all shapes and sizes. Don't settle for the same old boring Christmas function. Have a night out with the Night Train. Now drink it rats, baby. I rent because there's no deposit, no application fee, they fix any problems. And you can upgrade to the latest and greatest, so you're never stuck with yesterday's gear. Renting makes sense.
One done the hard way today for the Adelaide Crows. Plenty of injuries, but plenty of courage. A 17-point win to the Crows over Geelong, 11-10-76 to the Cats, 8-11-59.
Second week in a row they've overrun an opposition in the last quarter, and a great performance away from home by Adelaide. Lord kicking 3 for Geelong, but they had not enough players inside 50 to finish off for them, and Welsh kicking 3 for Adelaide, and the largest spread of players who drifted through their forward line able to contribute.
Let's go down into the victorious club rooms at this point in time with Anthony Mithen and the winning coach, Gary Ayres.
Thanks, Dermot. Congratulations, Gary. You were left with virtually no one on the bench, but you gutsed it out and kicked a couple late to seal it. One you'll certainly celebrate.
Oh, well, mate, I just think it was a very courageous win. You don't win too many times down here, and considering we had so many guys who were incapacitated for one reason or another, I think it's a pretty good win in the end. And you know, Geelong probably, to their credit, got their tails up in that last quarter. But one thing this club does is it really fights, and it's got a lot of character. And we knew this was important in the context of where the other sides had won over the weekend. So it puts us back in the mix where we want to be.
Just tell us exactly what happened to Mark Rashido. We were trying to work it out. No one went to him. There was no medical assistance required, but he copped one in the back.
Yeah, he did. Big Red Biglands actually gave him one, so Red said, look, I better pay you back, and he kicked that goal. So, but he just copped a knee, so I think he'll be okay. And Bodie's a bit sore in the knee, and Ronnie rolled his ankle pretty badly, so we'll see how they are next week.
Gary Dermot here, having known you pretty well, I reckon you'd be reticent on most occasions to praise your boys too highly, but that was one out of the hard book today. Plenty of injuries. I reckon you probably patted a lot of them on the back.
Yeah, I did, mate. And look, as a coach, all you can ask from them is really put in for you. And I've got no doubt these boys do that. And it's a real courageous win down here today. And, you know, every guy was hurting. And, you know, you see even Tyson Edwards in that last couple of minutes here. He was absolutely out on his feet. Unfortunately, he missed. But, you know, they just gave me 110% today. So, no, very proud of them, mate.
Gary, can you grow that mental toughness in a player, or does that have to be inbuilt from the word go when he starts playing the game?
No, I think it can be brought out in the player, Dwayne. I think as a young player, you just enjoy and love your footy, and you just play it for, you know, the enthusiasm and the exuberant aspect of it. But then once you start to learn a bit, and of course you know how hard you have to compete at this level, you've got to. Otherwise, I won't pick the player if he doesn't show that for me. And you know, you won't win games like you did today if you haven't got that toughness.
Both teams went in fits and spurts, Gary, but I thought, even if in the last quarter, a strange statement, but if Ian Perry had been at centre-half forward for Geelong in the last quarter, just his movement up the ground, his sticky hands, they might have won. He plays for Adelaide, as we know. He was brilliant for you today.
Yeah, pretty pleased with Ian, mate. He's played the last 3 weeks at centre-half forward, and he's really got a terrific work ethic, except he should have chased Harley down that last minute there. Yeah. I was a little bit agitated about that, but you know, he'll learn, and I thought his movement and his work rate, and he's a very, very fit player. He puts a lot into his fitness, and really I thought his contribution in a forward line that was mismatched, restructured, short, tall, you know, big, quick, etc. I thought he really held firm at centre forward in a pretty difficult position on the ground.
And Gary, what about that forward line? Because you've got Carey, Stevens and Burton out of this lineup at the moment, so it will change over the next few weeks?
Yeah, it will, mate, and I think, you know, we're a little bit... what would I say, all over the shop, because we've had to take midfielders out of the midfield and put them in the forward line. But if we keep winning, and you can't do anything about injuries, we'll just have to keep coming up with something new each week, mate.
Gary, to get a win, do you have to take Anthony Mithen to every other game? He's a good luck charm for you. Give him a clip from me while you're down there.
Well, I might have to give him a kiss, mate, but he could be on the payroll. Don't worry about that. He's just checking out my back pocket here as we speak.
Hey, talking of the back pocket, totally diffused anything before the end of the game. You decided to leave Mr. Mundy, Jack Mundy, yeah, Norm Mundy, sorry, by himself.
Yeah, I left Norm up there, mate. He's had his 5 minutes of glory. Don't worry about that.
No troubles with Norm today?
Nah, none at all.
Good on you, Gary. Congratulations today.
Thanks.
Thanks, Gaz. Big Gary Ayres there. He's a ripping bloke, Gary Ayres. I mean, when they do win, you get to see a little bit more personality out of the coaches, obviously.
Well, he led the coaching game in many respects in his time here at Geelong, and he has blossomed now. And I think the Adelaide Crow players are showing just how much they're following a man who was a brilliant player as a premiership player with Hawthorn over a long time, and I think he's spreading this kind of toughness and resilience and ability to be able to come up with the good plays, the clever plays, and the percentage plays at the right time of games, and the Crows were able to do that again this afternoon. We see Welsh here. He chipped in and kicked goals when it was crucial, and I think they had no one dominating, but everybody seemed to hold up their end when it was required.
Yeah, this is the second half highlights. This is the lead by Nigel Smart. It took about 4 seconds to get from the halfback flank to this shot on goal. And from outside 50, he's a professional, Nigel Smart. Yep. Became eligible for life membership for the league today, playing his 300th game of football, be it state representation or...
Yeah, and that was a great tackle by Bickley, allowed Gallagher to kick that goal. And to talk about crunch situations, Smart kicked that crucial goal, Bickley lays that crucial tackle, and then a long kick. McLeod gets them inside 50, and Biglands, who went down injured earlier in the game, was able to provide at full forward.
And the big grab there at the end. Going forward, inside 50, Geelong 34 to the Adelaide Crows 48. Shots at goal 23 to 16's telling. Marks inside 50, 7 to 12. I mean, that hurts a bit when you can only get 7 marks for the day inside 50.
So who was your best players today, Dermot? Because they had a good spread of good players, the Crows.
They did. I didn't think anyone really stood out. I thought McLeod was all right for most of the day, but then came good in the heat right at the end. Ian Perry, I thought, held them in, and he was the link between the midfield and winning the ball in the forward line. Mark Bickley was superb. And Gary Ablett, I thought, was the most dangerous player for Geelong for the entire day. So they're all up in line now to win the magnificent SS Commodore, and that's what they'll drive away with if they're successful. Key features are the powerful V8 Holden...
4-speed automatic transmission, an in-dash CD player, ABS, sports suspension. Tune into the Sunday Footy Show every week to keep up with all the latest boating, but you couldn't ask for a better prize than that.
And just like we're throwing to now, it's got beautiful brakes. That's what we're going to take, and we'll be back to wrap up on the other side.